The devil will here, so please be aware. The devil on the loose, the devil on the loose. So protect your soul, cause he's on a roll. The devil on the loose, the devil on the loose. So don't be a victim, keep resisting. Hold on to your children, keep protecting. And when the devil comes, well, you just have to say, yeah, yeah. Get out behind me, Satan. Get out behind me, Satan. Push back on the devil, push back on the devil. Don't get caught in this spell, cause you will not fare well. The thing to do is simply tell the devil, go to hell. The devil, the devil, the devil, watch the devil. He will not relent, cause he is hell-bent. The devil on the loose, the devil on the loose. This guy as well, you just cannot tell. It's the devil on the loose, the devil on the loose. So don't be a victim, keep resisting. Hold on to your children, keep protecting. And when the devil comes, well, you just have to say, yeah, yeah. Get out behind me, Satan. Get out behind me, Satan. Push back on the devil, push back on the devil. Don't get caught in this spell, cause you will not fare well. The thing to do is simply tell the devil, go to hell. The devil, the devil, the devil, watch the devil, the devil, the devil, the devil. All around you temptation, look around you temptation. All around you temptation, look around you temptation. Just say, yeah, yeah. Get out behind me, Satan. Get out behind me, Satan. Push back on the devil, push back on the devil. The thing to do is simply tell the devil, go to hell. Get out behind me, Satan. Get out behind me, Satan. Push back on the devil, push back on the devil. Don't get caught in this spell, cause you will not fare well. The thing to do is simply tell the devil, go to hell. The devil, all around you, all the devil, the devil.
Listen, this one is so nice. We have to do it. We have to come again, Dave.
The devil. To do is simply tell the devil go to hell. The devil, the devil, the devil, watch the devil. He will not relent, cause he is hell-bent. The devil on the loose, the devil on the loose. Disguised as well, you just cannot tell. It's the devil on the loose, the devil on the loose. So don't be a victim, keep resisting. Hold on to your children, keep protecting. And when the devil comes, well, you just have to say, yeah, yeah. Get out behind me, Satan. Get out behind me, Satan. Push back on the devil, push back on the devil. Don't get caught in this spell, cause you will not fare well. The thing to do is simply tell the devil go to hell. The devil, the devil, the devil, watch the devil, the devil, the devil, the devil. All around you temptation, all around you temptation.
Yeah.
Yeah. Get out behind me, Satan.
Get out behind me.
Push back on the devil.
Push back.
On the devil. The thing to do is simply tell the devil go to hell.
Tell the devil go to hell.
Satan. Push back on the devil. Push back on the devil. Don't get caught in this spell, cause you will back. The thing to do is simply tell the devil go to hell. The devil, the devil, watch the devil, the devil, the devil, the devil, all around you.
Oh my God.
The devil, watch the devil, the devil, the devil, the devil, all around you. All the devil, the devil, the devil, watch the devil, the devil, the devil.
Listen. Good night. Listen, you have come. You came into my dance party tonight. Welcome to the Marcia Week Show. We are excited. We are full of energy. We are full of life tonight because we are filled with the life of God. Are you filled with the life of God? What have you been going through today? Did you have a tough day? Did you have, listen, you know we're going to have to play that song again because some of you are going through some things in your personal lives. Huh? And you need to tell the devil, get thee behind me. Everybody write in there, get thee behind me. Judy Juggs, I know you're dancing because you love a dancing. Leo, the Lion, Teroni, anybody dancing? Please, can you just stop? We're going to play again and we're going to just mash down the devil. Right? We are just going to mash down the devil. We're going to play this again. You're going to get up and we're going to dance, folks. Barbados, we're going through so much with crime up to last night, Ryan Rock. Last night we had a murder. Come on, and someone in the hospital there. We're praying that they will come out alive. Come on, Queen D. Oh my goodness, folks, let us dance. Let us drive out the devil out of this island. The devil from where they're hiding. They're in high places in this country. These devils are hiding in high places. And Lord, tonight, listen, we're pushing back. Diana husband, just in time, Matthew Brown. We had another song, but we're not playing that now. We're going to play that. This is a song for tonight. This is a song we're going to trample on the devil. Nobody mad but the devil. Come on, folks. I want to listen, all of you. I didn't say that. All right, folks. Listen, Flojo, I want to big you all up tonight. Make sure, listen, folks, it's all about Barbados. I tell you, you had a tough day. Well, we're going to dance it off. Let's dance it off, folks. We're coming up again. Yes. No weapon formed against us shall prosper. He that dwelleth in the secret place of the Most High God. Huh? Lord, put this devil out. Come on, make me get. This one is going to be on the road tomorrow. The march is tomorrow, folks. This one is on the road tomorrow. Are we getting the devils out? The devil's off the blocks. The devil's out the government. The devil's not just on the blocks. The devil's out the government. The devil's out the school. We're going to push back on the devil. Oh, my Lord. Get thee behind me, Satan. All of those in government too. All the devils sitting in government. Get thee behind me. That's where you belong. Hey, come on, folks. Come on, folks. I'm giving you 1 minute to share. We're going to do this again, but bring in some other people. Let them enjoy this now. And let them make the declaration. Declare it over your own life and declare it over Barbados. Yeah? Oh, my God. This man. And it's true. It's true. Listen. Folks, let's go. Dave, drop the track again, Dave. Drop the track again. We're ready.
The devil out here, so please be aware. The devil on the loose, the devil on the loose. So protect your soul, cause he's on a roll. The devil on the loose, the devil on the loose. So don't be a victim, keep resisting. Hold on to your children, keep protecting. And when the devil comes, well, you just have to say, yeah. Get out behind me, Satan. Get out behind me, Satan. Push back on the devil, push back on the devil. Don't get caught in this spell, cause you will not fare well. The thing to do is simply tell the devil, go to hell. The devil, watch the devil. He will not relent, cause he is hell-bent. The devil on the loose, the devil on the loose. This guy does well, you just cannot tell. It's the devil on the loose, the devil on the loose. So don't be a victim, keep resisting. Hold on to your children, keep protecting. And when the devil comes, well, you just have to say, yeah. Get out behind me, Satan. Get out behind me, Satan. Push back on the devil, push back on the devil. Don't get caught in this spell, cause you will not fare well. The thing to do is simply tell the devil, go to hell. The devil, the devil, the devil, watch the devil, the devil, the devil, the devil. All around you temptation, look around you temptation. All around you temptation, look around you temptation. Just say, yeah. Get out behind me, Satan. Get out behind me, Satan. Push back on the devil, push back on the devil. The thing to do is simply tell the devil, go to hell. Get out behind me, Satan.
Tell him go to hell.
Satan. Push back on the devil, push back on the devil. Don't get caught in this spell, cause you will not fare well. The thing to do is simply tell the devil, go to hell. The devil, the devil, the devil, watch the devil, the devil, the devil, the devil. All around you, all the devil, the devil, the devil, watch the devil, the devil, the devil, the devil. All around you, all the devil, the devil, the devil, watch the devil, the devil.
Let me tell you.
Watch the devil, watch the devil.
Watch the devil. Let me tell you, I had my workout. Oh, Lord, I have messed up my hair a little bit. Let me tell you. Listen, folks. Oh, my goodness. Tell the devil, go to hell. Devil, you know who's it. You know, if you're listening and you know you're the devil, go to hell. Go to hell and never return. Go to hell, devil. You know who you are. All right, folks. Listen, that was only put out to the public today. That was for us. You know that. We gonna rock that on the road tomorrow. How many of you coming to the march tomorrow? Who coming out to the march tomorrow? Listen, these people are so afraid of us. They're so afraid of us. They even want to wiretap us. They even want to wiretap us and talk about this is for the criminals. They even want to wiretap us, folks. But all we're saying, we don't feel safe in this country. We don't feel safe. We tell the people we don't feel safe. Think about it. You're in your house. All right? You are in your house, Judy Jills and Vihoy. And you're married. You tell your husband, look, water coming in the back and washing away the bed and reach up to our knees. He says, okay, listen. But then you see him outside fixing the gate that fell down. Or you see him outside and he's fixing the front door. He's fixing the step. He's doing everything else than what is necessary at the moment. Is it important to fix the fence outside? Yes, it's important. It's important to fix the step. It's important to fix the window. But right now we're drowning in the back room. Right now we are drowning in the back room. But no, your husband decides to fix the fence outside and to fix the door and to fix the step. This is exactly what this government is doing. A government that is compromised. A government that is involved in the same illegal activity. Do you think that a government like that is going to fix the real problems? No. When you have people in government, because you love to say, I call name. Listen carefully. When you come to take back the news, make sure you say, listen. When you have people in government allegedly taking out hits on citizens. Only this week, I am here again. Somebody called, met with government officials to tell them they're in trouble. They're having trouble with some people that are in that place there where where it's a garden, or some people might say in the church you have ushers and you have what else? You have ushers and you have deacons, right? Okay. All right. So those people up there, they're having problems with them, threatening them. They went and as soon as they leave the government official, the same people up into that place up there would be able to ambush them. So you're now telling me that government officials that's supposed to be seeking to keep people safe are now working with people on the streets? They are working with gangs under this peace program. Someone went and got a peace, somebody in the peace, somebody, right? And guess what? Somebody in government. And would you believe, by the time the conversation is finished, they were ambushed by people in gangs when they went there to confide in them, to tell them, help me. So this is why I'm saying, that's why when we're telling them that the roof is leaking and it's flooding and the bed is wet and the waters come up to our knees, the children are going to drown. Your wife is going to drown. The husband who does not care about his family, who is the leader of the home, is outside fixing the gate and fixing the step, and doing everything else for the neighbor across there. Gone to visit Brazil. And they're going to visit, and the husband get up, the leader of the home, get up and fly, gone everywhere else. and we drowning inside. This is exactly what they're doing with these things. The tint, the lie detector test, which I think is really for them. They should all line up and take that test. It is for them. So that is why tomorrow, guys, we are meeting tomorrow. Where are we going to be? Kensington Mall. Kensington Mall tomorrow, 10 a.m. Come early. We're going to Independence Square. Okay? 10 o'clock. Now, folks, we're going to need some donations. You know, that's how we work, right? We don't have any big donor. Huh? No big donor. I have a story to tell you. I have a story to tell you all. But yeah, listen, if I had gone to a particular meeting this week where money was being offered, let me tell you, these people, they go through the most ridiculous things. The most ridiculous things. So shut up this voice you see here. But let them know, Marcia Weeks cannot be bought. So no matter how you send people for me to go to meeting, you plan to give me money. Did I tell you I was hungry? I told you I needed anything. Did I tell you I was hungry? Huh? So that's why, you can't catch me by that. Come another way. Wheel and come again. You can't. Nobody come. You don't come with no money. Don't come with it. Don't come with it. Don't come with it. We never born with it. I mean, I got dead with it. Me no want no money from you. Me no want no money from you. The money can't shut me up. You hear what I tell you? I go and tell you that I don't want to. Tonight, I want to stay focused, you know. I tell Auntie Maxine that I'm going to stay focused and I'm not going to get distracted. So I'm not going to tell you the fullness of that story. But you would never believe what happened to me this week. But one thing you must tell them, when they're talking about this woman here, you let them know, can't be bought. I don't want your money. I mean, not sit down with you on a Jezebel meeting. Me not sit down. I will not come to your Jezebel. Sit at your Jezebel table. Go back and tell them that way. But you know what? Let me stay focused tonight because I have to tell you something. Tomorrow we need money. That's how we collect the money. Let them know you pay for the marches. Huh? We put our money in. We, myself, Dave and Caswell, Maxine McLean and all of us, we started off paying for these marches. Huh? And anytime it's short, we put in. You understand? But we need your help. So we are asking you tomorrow when you come, you know how we do it. You know how we do it. You come and you press a hand and make sure that we get this, we can cover the expenses. All right? I don't know yet the price of the cost of the permit. We got that late. And what I want to tell you about this, you see, anytime anybody trying to make it sound as though they're making a privilege for you to march, anytime it seems as though it's a privilege, they're giving you the opportunity to march, let them know they're a lying wonder. They need to go take the lie detector test that they're bringing in. Huh? They need to sit down. Anytime you hear anybody in this country trying to pass off, like to tell you, oh, look how good we are. You could march. Really? Really? They wrote the Constitution. There is a Constitution. It's not a Republican Constitution, but there is a Constitution. And it is written inside that Constitution. And it gives us that authority and that privilege then. And the right is what I'm looking for, not the authority, the right. And it goes to the Commission of Police, nobody else, unless they're trying to tell us that there is a collusion of power. And I don't think the Commission of Police would do that, do you? Not the Commission of Police. So anytime you hear that lying wonder, those people that need to sit down and take the lie detector test from morning till night, They are trying to tell you that, oh, you know, look, we could march. Oh, we could march. Oh, we couldn't march. It is our right. It is our democratic right. Okay? So tomorrow we march. Tomorrow we march. Tomorrow we march. Tomorrow we march. Our forefathers died so we could march. Did you know there was a time when the enslaved would be on the road, even after slavery? Let's talk about after slavery. You couldn't congregate. I think it was about 3. If it was 3 or more, you could not congregate. Huh? You could not congregate. They would beat you. They would lock you up. Did you know that? We went through that with you on the show. So don't let, you see where the lies on the red. We did not invent this. Truth or lie on the red. Look where the arrow point. The lie detector that test, whoop, lie, red. On the red. So don't you ever let them fool you and tell you that they are giving you that privilege to march. They are not. Lying wonders. Get behind me, Satan. Liar. The devil is a father of lies. The devil, that's the Bible. Go and blame the Bible. Go blame the Bible. Satan is the father of lies. And all that they're telling you is lies. So who is the father? I didn't say it, is the Bible. And look where it's on, the red. Pure lie. Okay? Yeah? March, march, march. March, march. All who never came out to the march. Anybody of you never marched before, come out and march. I can't call the person's name, but there is somebody from the diaspora who arrived yesterday, and she told me, Marcia, don't let the march happen unless I'm here. Well, it turns out, and she sent me a message, I'm here and I'll be at the march. Yes? Yeah? So make sure. That's right, Mr. Lucky. It is a constitutional right that we march. So don't you ever let nobody try to make you feel that it's a privilege and they are allowing you. One time I hear them saying about they're allowing you. Look, we allow them to march. Lying wonder. Lying wonder. It's a constitutional right. Get out there, march, 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 march. Tomorrow, march and never falter. We marching, we marching. We are marching. Marie Watson said, I'll be there. Yes, Mr. Lucky, yes. Yes, we pay for the marches. Listen, I need you. I know we have a lot of people that are against these little schemes and little distractions that they come with. They come with a press conference yesterday to distract us. Onward ever. Forward ever. Backward never. We're marching tomorrow. We're hitting the pavement. Even if it rains, we're going to march. Listen, those of you who you might have your sick foot, you can't walk too good, the knee hurting you. We have transportation and we have water. Listen, the young man I told you, I get the message already. Marcia, the coolers are ready and the waters are ready. The water ready. We're not going to treat you like how this government treat the senior citizens at the senior citizens games. Huh? Somebody wrote here, be there tomorrow. This is from the UPP. Be there tomorrow. All different kind of parties going there tomorrow. Old and young, boys and girls. Bring out the children tomorrow. Listen, you know what colors we're wearing? Thank you, Judy. Judy's on the team, you know. Thank you, Judy Jilks. You're the best. Thank you, Judy Jilks. I didn't get to pick up my flag yet. Oh Lord, time is against me, and I have my guests there, you know. But I have to show you something on Dominica, because you know Dominica mad in them. Look, see there? This is it. These are the colors tomorrow. So when you see CBC come there with a bogus self, CBC, when you come, report the right thing. CBC, Barbados Today, and Nation. You look at these good. You see these? You see these colors? This is what we're wearing. And it's the color of the flag. So when you come there tomorrow, listen, you have me talking in my patois tonight, because I tell you, I fired up. But Auntie Maxine said to make sure I calm down. Listen, you see this here? This is the national flag, and these are the colors we're wearing. CBC, don't go and report no lie on us tomorrow. Brass tacks, Starcom, don't report no lie. These are the colors the people will be wearing tomorrow. And all political parties are invited. So when you report it, make sure you report the right thing. Make sure, because there will be a retraction, I tell you. Tomorrow we have speakers. Look how you let me dance. I'm make my hair mess up. Listen. Oh Lord. Listen, oh Lord, you can't fix it here. You know, all the dancing, I'm dancing, the hair mess up. Listen to me. Satan, get behind me. Go to hell. And all you can say, oh, she's using the word hell in the Bible. Go to hell. And that's what I tell them. Go to hell. Blue, yellow, and black, put it up. That is what we're putting up tomorrow. You hear what I tell you? Yeah, blue, yellow, and black, put it up. Yes, all of the witchcraft that they put. Lord help me. Yes, Denise, you came to class late. The national anthem was the first thing that was played. We trick you today. We played the national, so you must come early. Make sure you come early to the march tomorrow, Denise. Listen, all you warriors, you keyboard warriors, come out to the march tomorrow. For the first in your life, bathe your skin, nice clean skin, put on your nice clean blue, yellow, and black. Come to the march. We're going to have flags for you if you don't have any flags. Okay? And let me tell you, we're going to send the devil behind us, because they think we're stupid. They come with tint. They come now with they come now talking about they're going to they're going to bug. What I'm going to do? What is the thing name? I call it bug people home. Listen, them bugging my phone long time. Sometimes I all burp and do other bodily functions in the phone so they can hear when I know they're listening. I mash up the eardrum. Yes. Oh, they're bugging my phone long time. That little Chinese man that you have inside of here. That little Chinese one. You know yourself. You know yourself. Get behind me, Satan, you're devil. They put the devil long time inside the phone and bugging people phone long time. We soon get to that. But you know what? Let me quickly go to Dominica. Dave, play that Dominica video for me, because that is the thing right there. They have no answer for it. They've played the Dominica. Let me just read something on Dominica. My guest, give me 10 minutes. Give me 5 minutes, my guest. So in 2019, the peaceful farming community of Salisbury, Dominica, was rocked by a shocking show of force. Tear gas rained down on elderly residents and children alike as regional troops sent under the regional security system stormed the town in response to political protests. But why were the troops deployed to tear gas the civilians? There were troops there from the RSS, the regional security system. And on the ground in Dominica, it is reported that why the St. Lucia's prime minister and some of the other Caribbean leaders withdrew their troops. It is being alleged by the people on the ground, not me, of Salisbury, that Barbados' troops, they heard the accent, that the Prime Minister Mia Mottley, they're alleging, did not allow Barbados did not remove the troop, and they're asking, why did the Barbados troop remain? What role did Mia Mottley play, and by extension the RSS, play in this human rights violation? Where civilians were tear gassed while they were in their beds at 4 a.m. in the morning. Was Motley complicit in Sterrett's crackdown on dissent? Should Caribbean leaders be held responsible when their troops are used against innocent civilians? What does it say about our regional solidarity and human rights? The people of Salisbury have not forgotten. It's time the region remembers too. Go ahead, Dave. Thank you. We're here again in Salisbury with Derek. And Derek was also had a very interesting experience in 2019 during the protests. Good evening, Derek.
Good evening, ma'am.
Yes. Can you tell us about your experience in the protests in 2019?
Yes, it was a horrible one.
Yeah, speak up a little louder.
Yeah, it was a horrible experience because the people of Salisbury was just protesting electoral reform.
Mm-hmm.
Yes, we did block the road to get the attention of the government because we knew that he was not going to budge. He was going to go ahead. And what happened? They did nothing during the day to get protesters off the street. They waited until 4 o'clock in the morning when a troop of soldiers, I'm not going to call them police because they're regional soldiers, along with the special force in Dominica. They walked up the station road. There's an exit road by the station coming into the village and out of the village. And the soldiers, and they walked down the village. And from 4 o'clock in the morning, they ambushed the people of Salisbury. And they rained gas, rubber bullets on the people. Live ammunition. Imagine people running for cover and getting hurt while running, falling down and running. Mothers running with their babies, 6 months babies, 3 months babies, falling and looking for cover. And there were two sets of police on that line of the village, while the main force was in the village. The blockade was right on the highway, but they were in the center of the village, pouring tear gas, raining tear gas. I see that as a genocide because it was really terrible. And I'm wondering presently if the regional heads were satisfied with what they did in allowing the regional force to come down in Salisbury, one single village in Dominica, to do that kind of havoc. Ma'am, it was terrible. You were not there. But from 4 o'clock in the morning to at least 12, it was pure tear gas, rubber bullets, and live ammunition. Real thing. We are not downplaying the whole situation or trying to make it look greater than it was terrible.
It was life-threatening.
Life-threatening. Imagine You have to take your elderly and try to rush up way on the playing field to secure them out of that place. I woke up, my wife and I tell her, get up. We have a young child with us, she was about 2 years plus at the time. And I tell her, I had to bring them up here because where I live in just below there, the tegias was all in that live tegias in that place. And I had to bring my wife and that child right in this building, the gospel hall.
Right.
Building.
This building here.
Yes. And when I went back, I was trying to go down to see what's going on. I bounced up with a gang of police.
What time?
It was about going to 5 at that time.
Oh my! So it was dark.
Yeah, it was dark. So when I saw what was going on, I head back.
Oh
I
God!
head
You
back.
could have been killed.
Definitely. Imagine a lady was in labor, and the nurse or resident nurse had to go to the health clinic center to deliver that woman. And she's calling on the police to stop so that she would go and do her work and help that lady. And they would not stop. Her name is Rosie Moses, the nurse Rosie Moses.
Wow.
And she had to struggle and go up. While we were in the health clinic, then we see Davis come in. Davis Shillingford, he been shot in his leg.
Just my name.
Huh?
Just my Davis.
Yes.
Shot in his leg. But I tell you, it should never happen to any of the Caribbean country. The Caribbean head should not allow or permit the regional force, because there was no war. All these things being done, the road, the main highway was already unblocked by them. And they were there, just terrorizing the people, terrorizing the village.
Yes.
We, the people of Salisbury, we have a reputation. We don't let people control us. And that is what this government hates about the people of Salisbury, because we won't vote them into office. We know their history. We know what they are doing. And we are independent. And if we have to speak of the rest of the time, other times, they have taken Salisbury. For what? And that is for our farm road, farm access road, and our village road was in terror, because Salisbury is being neglected completely, totally by this government. And Salisbury have been persecuted and prosecuted by this government. Imagine we had to stand up and challenge an act of 1876 by the British government, the colonies, when after abolition of slavery and the slave was revolting, they had that law to just kill on sight any protesters. And they tried to charge us with that act. And we had to challenge it with our constitution. And up to now, that case, we're not hearing nothing about it. It's just in the court. You know.
I can see you're still, moved by that incident, sir. I could see that.
It's still hurting, and it will continue to hurt.
Yes.
And as generation coming, we are going to tell them what was brought upon us, what we didn't ask for, and we committed no crime to face.
Yes.
That.
Yes.
This, and no, I'm just going to tell you one hurtful thing presently. The same Mia Motley that sent the regional force to destroy us in Salisbury, she was warned not to come to Dominica on the behalf of this government to campaign for them. Mia Motley, so disrespectful to the wishes and will of the people. She is here now, presently, campaigning with the very same Dominican scary Labour Party. You understand? I mean, if we are sisters, brothers in the Caribbean, we should look out for each other, not destroying one another.
Yes.
And I see Nia Motley plainly as an evil woman in high place. And she has no regard, no respect for people. We suffer. And I think we've got Tegias 4 times, or 5 under this administration, scary administration. On several occasions, I had to go and take my mom, my old mom. She's 97 now, and get her out. While I myself almost choking because I have a allergy problem and still having to go in there in that Tegias, sorry, to take her out and to carry her out. Sorry about that.
Yes.
And on 3 occasions, I had to do that. You can imagine the what is boiling in me because of what Roosevelt scary government and Leah Motley and the rest of the Caribbean had. These things should not move that easy.
Yes.
I think the international community need to look into that.
Yes, sir.
I think something must be done, and Salisbury must be compensated big time for what the regional government did to Salisbury. Not just our government, but the regional government colliding with that evil man and do that to us.
Yes.
And I believe it's because Nia Motley have, interest, or she's gaining some way, or they're able to will scare it as they want. That's why they are so with him and would do his bidding for him. I don't. So it is tough. And every time I think of it, it aches my heart.
Yes, I could see that. I
get emotional.
Yes, and we empathize with you, sir.
Yeah.
And we want to say we are from Barbados, and we want to say to you, sir, that the Barbadian people, we love Dominicans, and we empathize with you, and that's why we came. When we heard what happened, we got on a flight and we came here so we can tell the rest of Barbados your story.
Yeah.
Okay? And we empathize with you, sir. And we are sorry. Yeah. Thank you. Thank you for your time. Yes. Folks, as you can see, I'm still there because that particular man, as you said, and I'm sorry, I don't have his name to hand right now, but he's so articulate and it was so moving for him. And he's the same one who told us about the wind that came and blew the tear gas away when they got up on the hill so that the elderly people could get, some kind of some fresh air. And that's his story. That's his story. It's not mine to tell. It's his story. And that's why I went to Dominica. Because I could not believe somebody said on here, how could yes, he was so emotional. Somebody said on here, you said, how could something like this happen in the Caribbean and we didn't hear about it? Why didn't I'm not a journalist. Why didn't the journalist share this and did the digging and what they needed to do? This is still so emotional for this gentleman. I have my guest here and I'm going to bring him in early to give his views on this before we talk about what because whenever I get into Salisbury, really it gets very emotional for me. It's very emotional, honestly. Let me bring Mr. Alwin Babb. Good night, Mr. Babb. Welcome to the Marcia Week Show.
Good night, Marcia. Good night to the lawyer opposition. I'm finally here. Last two occasions, and even now, I'm still a bit husky from the effects of the Sahara dust, but I'm fighting it, getting the devil behind me. So I'm here
Yes,
tonight. So I'm here. So good night to everyone, and I hope we have a good show tonight.
yes, yes. We will have we're having a great show tonight. The devil is behind us.
Of
The
course.
devil is behind us. I tell you. Listen, now I welcome you again to the show. We tried last week and it didn't happen, but thank God you're here. And I think this is might be your second time on the show.
Yes, yes, it is.
Yes, yes. Now, Mr. Somebody said that's my best friend, Alwin Babb. Behoy. Somebody said,
Behoy,
welcome, Mr.
yes.
Babb.
You like Valerie? Thank you for welcoming.
Yes, and folks, you're saying it's a great show. Are you sharing? Are you
Yes.
liking? Are you sharing? Mr. Bob, because I spoke with my elderly neighbor, and he told me, he said, Marcia, I could not find the show. I searched I mean, oh, not my neighbor. It was this was actually Mr. Victor Young, and said I could not find the show. He said normally the show would come up because I told you what they're doing. There's a little Chinese man that's inside of here that's been brought in by this government to go into people's computers. Yeah.
What I tell you, a good thing they're popular.
Huh?
A good thing that they believe their popularity.
You know, so everybody need to like and share right now because they are doing all kinds of things. They're doing all kinds of things. So I need you to like and share. Okay, we gotta beat them at their game. Everybody pause and like and share. Like and share. Did you share? Did you share? Did you share? Don't be selfish. Share. Like, share, subscribe. Did you do that yet? Okay. Well, Mr. Bob, you were watching. I saw you were watching intently the screen tonight. What was going through your mind as you saw? And you've been watching the Dominica stories. These are not stories. This is real life experiences of these people in Salisbury.
It is
Yeah.
it is very good that we can finally, after a number of years, hear the truth from the people themselves. And it speaks to some very unnerving actions by the press of the Caribbean, that our people could be treated like this by leaders who we put in place to safeguard our lives, and we don't hear about it until the last minute. And now that have come to light, we have persons who will seek on behalf of the government here to promote it as that we are lying and we're being emotional about it. But here I'm glad that you went to Dominica to get those persons who lived their lived experience and not by hearsay. So they can't take away from the fact that the truth that the people who are talking about their experience and about that night, they can't take it away from them. And I'm glad that we in the Caribbean can have that story, that we can brace ourselves what can likely happen if we challenge governments or if we threaten in a particular way. And I don't know why these governments today believe that they have the right to be in power forever, and why they believe that they are the only persons who are given the right to govern. We had leaders who accepted the will of the people. We had leaders who went to the polls and the will of the people were accepted. But now we have a group who believe that when they get into power, that is where they have to stay until they die. So that is why we see some of these actions coming out. Here, Mike.
Yes, as somebody said, they heard it for the first time on the Marcia Week show, and they're quick to tell us that we're not that I'm not a journalist, which I never said I was a journalist. I'm a filmmaker. I'm a cultural practitioner.
Mhm.
And that's who I am. I'm an activist now. That's who I am. So I never said I was any journalist. But why is it that I have to be the one to bring the people's story to Barbados? And there's so many news outlets in Barbados. That's the thing, that we have to look at. The role of the media, and which leads me to our discussion, because You
Yes.
know, you and I, I know you that you ran in the election. What year did you run? Were you a candidate?
2022.
Right,
2022.
2022, right?
Yes.
Like 2022, you ran in the election, right?
Yes.
And a birdie told me that the media. I want Barbados to listen to this, 'cause you know me. I'm jumping. I'm going right in. The media trying to hunt you down to find out why is it that you're not a candidate this time around in the DLP. Are you still with the DLP? Barbados, listen to what the media is searching out. Even since I came back here with all these stories, right? All these stories from Salisbury, 3,000 people up there, tear gas. Some of them lost their loved ones. You heard about a woman who couldn't even have her baby in peace. You heard about little children being tear gas in Salisbury. And nobody, I don't hear anybody in Salisbury telling me, Marcia, thank you, because the media, the real journalists in Barbados are now searching out the people in Salisbury. We don't hear that, but they find Mr. Babb's number to ask Mr. Babb, Mr. Babb, are you a candidate again this year? And why aren't they running you as a candidate? Are you still part of the DLP? Am I telling the birdie is telling me the right thing, or did this actually happen?
It happened. I believe that and if our people will look and see what is happening, they are running this country in a direction which is not what we voted for in 2018 and 2022. It is in their best interest to paint the DLP as an organization that is not ready. But I want the people to understand that in 2018, they were not pleased with the Democratic Labour Party, and they went to the polls and made a decision. That decision was made again in 2022 to stay with this particular party. But now that we have cost of living out of control, excessive borrowing, crime out of control, it is in their interest to hide the disappointment of their governors by telling the people in Barbados, look, they're keeping noise, they're fighting with each other, and they're not ready to govern. Are we sure that the DLP was ready to govern based on what is happening now? But we took a chance. We were not pleased, and we took a chance in the party with a lot of unknowns. They call DLP stalwarts who contributed to this country the last decade. Don't vote for them. But you know that some of those same people lost heavily in 2008 and 2013. But we stuck with them. We still went with them because of their contributions.
Repeat that what you just said there, Mr. Babb.
That some of those same candidates who ran in 2018 lost in 2008, lost in 2013, and we still stuck with them.
Oh, you're saying that some of the BLP candidates that lost in 2008, lost in 2013, ran again in 2018,
and we voted for them.
And the citizens voted for them.
For them. But here, but here you're telling the people of Barbados, that experienced persons in government that was in government, that we should vote for them. But we voted for unknowns as well. We weren't sure about. Were we sure about Marcia Callow? Were we sure about Neil Rowe?
Thank you. And what have they really done? Let's call out the names. Those new. What really have they done? Look at Ishmael. Did we vote for Ishmael? The what's his name is the minister, junior minister of health. What has he really done?
I'm saying that today we are facing greater problems than we faced in 2018. The lives of Barbadians is no better, and in most cases it's even worse. So why it is in their, I keep saying to people, it's in their interest to paint us as not ready, but they were not ready, and we are now proven in 2025 that they were not ready. So I'm saying to the electorate of Barbados, you judge the situation today as it is, and you make the decision. And you say to the government of Barbados We are not pleased. We are not pleased. And I can't understand, and we have to think as well, why would a government spend excessive thousands in influencers and bloggers to say to convince us that they are so good, that their leader is so good? That wasn't done by Errol Barrow and some of the other leaders of the past. They allowed their policy and tackling of the issues for the people to make a decision on whether we should vote for them or not. And when their legacy was written, it was written based on how their governance affected the people's lives for the better. But we have a situation where influencers and bloggers are paid to tell us that this person is the best thing since sliced bread. But if you're so good, allow your policies and how you govern to make that decision, or to put you in the annals of history for what you have done for the people. Not a paid, it comes across as a paid advertisement for a leadership that does not exist.
Correct. And that's what Dale Warren said. The media, the so-called influence under the government, spreading that wicked narrative about the Dems being in disarray. And what as I said, instead of them asking the hard questions of the government, they are calling the opposition. The media has turned on the opposition.
Yes.
You see what I'm saying, Mr. Babb? And Mr. Babb here is an example of that, where he's at his cool house relaxing, and they are seeking him out.
They wanted a juicy story, but
they wanted a juicy story about him and the DLP. And let's find out. And you know that you're not running this year. You're not going to be a candidate, and you're not making a fuss about it. Why is that? How come you are not running to the media? They're running to you, wanting to know, oh, we heard you're not running. You're not a candidate. That's what they do, this wicked media, all of them.
I want to, my life has been involved in sport, and sport, a big thing about sports is being a team player. Every decision or every result by the team will not be accepted by all members of the team.
Mm-hmm.
But then you have to make a decision as a responsible team leader to say this is my decision is in the best interest of the team and not being selfish. Politics is not about self. Politics is about others. Politics is about putting yourself in a position where you can see whether a decision taken by myself would affect the masses.
Mm-hmm.
So if the party which I belong to decides based on the response from the branch or the people in the party that this candidate instead of Alwin Babb is more likely to be successful, I'm not going to make a fuss. I'm going to step back, and I'm going to allow the will of the people to take its course.
No, I mean, what that to me is such a mature response. And when I think about it, because can you tell us what is the process in the DLP, that how did they arrive? Because you're not the candidate, but you're still here on this program, and you're still part of the DLP. Are you part of the DLP, sir?
Yes, I am.
And
I'm part of the DLP because of the history and the what the party did for Barbados.
Yeah,
I believe in its principles and what it stood by. And when you read, and this party wants, and this government want to kill it off, they went after independence. But I'm glad that people said no. They went after a number of things. You think that the National Insurance building was not done by accident? That's part of DLP history. And you put up a Freedom Park. It's good there for relaxation for those persons who tend to be homeless and for people who have to sit down. But you have to see what they're strategically doing in this country. And where the defense force along the coast and what is part of Barbados, in the name of a legacy for some person else. But I'm saying to persons that when you are down, and I want my party to hear, when you are down, for me as a coach, and I have a 3-day competition, I have no time to wallow in defeat. When we lose, you have your few hours to beat up yourself, to get yourself together. But then we close ranks as a team because tomorrow is a different day.
Ha. Yes, I love that. I love what you just said there, and you see, you're saying it in you're presenting it in this manner because he's into sports, and you know what it is that you're going to lose sometimes because even they take, for example, the DLP, they put everything that they could in the St. James North, and they lost. Does it mean that you take a little time and you get down? But I love repeat what you said, man. I love talking to you. You're one of my favorite persons.
Tomorrow is a different day, and they may lose. You will lose battles, but the focus is the war.
Oh, God, you may lose battles, but the focus is the war. Dave, where the song? We could put the devil behind us. Let's up. And trust me, Apostle Canterbury coming up. Let me tell you, when we done tonight, we're going to trample that devil, that lying devil out of Barbados. I'm telling you, we're going to have a change of government when we're done.
And that is the war. The war is for our country. And we will lose the battles but we have to respect the wishes of the people. We knew most persons who know anything about politics knew that to go into a constituency that has given the party 35 years on broken service, or 35 years of their candidate being the representative, would have been a tough battle. We heard the elected candidate said he was in the constituency for a whole year. He had a whole year, as opposed to the candidate coming 3 weeks. So what do you expect? And then you're going up against the dollar. And it brings me to the point where we understand what is happening in this country from 2018 onwards. People grabbing at what the short term because they're suffering, and the need to satisfy short-term goals will be in a country where there is much suffering. But there will come a time when they are going to realize that the short-term solution of a $250 and a t-shirt is not good enough for me or my family. And I'm hoping that we reach that stage at some point in time, that we take that money, but we say to them, thank you for the short-term relief, just like the $300, which has already been spent. Somebody asked what I did with mine, but I gave it away.
We gave ours away. But Mr. Bob, everybody is, I am just moved by your selfless act of saying, listen, if the branch decides that I am not the one for this time around, the branch would have chosen you before, but the branch chose somebody else. And what is happening is that this is what I'm saying. Why are we so power hungry? I don't understand it. If this is not your turn, why is it that you're going to now tear the party down because you did not get what you wanted? Isn't that something else? That behavior. I mean, folks, we have to keep your eyes on the prize. Yes. Keep your eyes on the prize. And everybody here is commending you. Yeah. Commenting you on your response, and that is what we need, right? People are commending you on your response. But listen, you said something, and I want to play a little bit. Dave, just play catch the chorus or something, Dave, of this. Come, we gotta play something. Come, Mr. Babb put the devil behind him and decided he's not going to destroy the DLP. And the media mad.
Hold on to your children, keep protecting. I mean, the devil comes, well, you just have to say, yeah. Get out behind me, Satan. Get out behind me, Satan. Push back on the devil, push back on the devil.
Push back on the devil.
Cause you will not fare well. The thing to do is simply tell the devil, go to hell. The devil, watch the devil. He will not relent.
Listen. Up to date. He loved this. He played the whole night. Yes, don't mess up with interview.
Yes.
Listen, folks, if you are listening, sometimes you're going to have ups, you're going to have downs. DLP, push back on the devil. Push back on the devil. That's basically, I'm telling you, this is what, because they are trying to destroy the party. I told you, the media come to hunt down the man. A birdie told me that the media come to hunt him down to find out. I heard you're not, are you, they didn't choose you as a candidate? The media did that. Instead of going to go and find Neil Rowe. Look at the comment he made about his colleague.
Yes.
He said it. I didn't say it. He said his colleague lied on him. Did you go and search out that? No. But you're searching Mr. Babb because you want to destroy. And I want that to sink into a lot of you on here. But Mr. Babb, back to you again, because I know that when you ran, which constituency did you run in?
The difficult constituency of St. Peter, another stronghold.
St. Peter, and I see Apostle there. Apostle, that's his
yes.
thing. St. Peter.
Yeah.
So you were running for St. Peter, but did you really? Because you ran for St. Peter, which is a difficult one, but you really had wanted to run for another constituency, isn't that so? Which one was that?
Yes, I was raised. I was born and raised in St. Lucie, and I did a lot of community work in that constituency. I was seriously considering
St. Lucie.
Yes, I was seriously considering that as one of the choices or the main choice. But then the leader at that point in time, Ms. Verla de Pisa, she declared her interest. So you just step back.
Wait. No. You can't jump over that. You can't jump over that so fast. I'm so tempted to bring in Apostle in here. When Apostle, I know it seems like he's preparing for later, but Apostle, listen to this. Listen to this to me and tell me if this is not order and how things supposed to happen. Everybody, listen. Stop typing for a minute and listen to what this goodly gentleman is saying. And tell me if I'm wrong. Did you just tell me that you were a part of the DLP for how long?
I was a member since 1985.
You've been a member since 1985, and you wanted to run in St. Lucie because you have more connections in St. Lucie, which would make sense, right?
Yes.
Yeah. However, and how long you had said you wanted to run in St. Lucie? How long was that in your heart?
Once I made up my mind about elective politics, you're looking around for where you can you want to win, so you look for where you can get the best chance. Mm-hmm. So therefore, your hometown would have been the first choice. Mm-hmm. But once I heard that I got the whim that Mr. Pisa would have been courting that constituency, I just stepped back. I didn't declare the interest. I didn't say anything to anybody.
Right. You step back. You step back. Yes, and that is the attitude. Listen to me something. Listen to me, guys. In every organization, there is structure. There is order. And you heard what he said? He, in his heart, he wanted St. Lucie. But once he heard that the president of the party, I don't know if she was political leader at the time, just president, right?
President, yeah.
Wanted to run in St. Lucie, what did he do? He stepped back. He stepped back. What is wrong with that? It is right that he does that. Why are you going to make a fuss about that? He steps back. and allows the leader to run in that constituency. Why are you going to tear the party down? I'm so, Mr. I'm so happy you brought that up tonight. People don't understand. You see, they go after power. They go after ambition. That is so, oh my Lord. I'm tempted to, Apostle, can I bring you in on this? No, he's not. He's preparing. He's preparing. Give me a thumbs up or thumbs down, Apostle. Let me know. Thumbs up? Thumbs up. Okay, I'm going to bring him in. He's coming in our conversation. He's in St.
No
Peter.
problem.
Apostle, good night,
Yes, ma'am.
Apostle.
Hi, good night.
Good night. Good night to you.
Good
Madam Weeks, great to be on the show with you tonight. Mr. Babb, it's good to see you.
Hi, good night. Good night. Good to see you as well.
It's a
Yes,
good night
ma'am.
to have you when we're telling the devil, we're pushing back on the devil, and we're telling the devil to get thee behind me, Satan.
Yes,
You know,
yes,
you
ma'am.
had to be on here tonight.
Yes, ma'am. Yes,
So-
ma'am. Happy to be here.
No, you would have heard. I'm drawing you into people's conversation. But I know this one, you as somebody who understand structure and authority and how things are done. Sir,
Yes, ma'am.
I would like to hear, did you hear what Mr. Babb said? He had an interest in his heart. He wanted to run in that constituency. But then
Yeah.
he heard that his leader, Bernard de Pisa, wanted to run in St. Lucie. What he did, he just stepped back and he took St. Peter instead. What, as a man of God, what goes through your mind when you hear that?
Well, that's actually commendable because I would have heard that Mr. Babb is, a resident of the Six Men's area, which is kind of what we would call button bound St. Peter and St. Lucie.
Yes.
And the reality is that St. Lucie, from my time growing up as a boy, was pretty much a fair parish in terms of the elections.
Yes.
St. Peter was also a very fair parish in terms of election up until 1984, when we had the election between Sybil Leacock and the late Professor Owen Arthur. And after that election, I would have shared this before on your show. After that election, there was a cut or a split of St. Peter, and the majority of the Democratic Labour Party support system in the constituency of St. Peter went over to St. James North, and what was left at the time was about 4,000 Barbados Labour Party supporters to about 1,900 to 2,400 Democratic Labour Party supporters.
Mm-hmm.
So it became very difficult for a Democratic Labour Party candidate to win in St. Peter, not because the Barbados Labour Party is strong, but because of what was done to make sure that the votership in St. Peter is favoring the Barbados Labour Party. So that's the situation. Now, if St. Peter had remained, we would have consistently had elections where it could have either gone the Democratic Labour Party or the Barbados Labour Party. But Mr. Arthur made that split and it became unfair. So St. Peter is a very unfair constituency. And unfortunately, Mr. Babb, with the Barbados Labour Party, found himself in that position. And then, as he said, there's also the issue of the money that was being passed during the elections. I ran in St. Peter during the time. I ran when Mr. Cumberbatch ran. I ran when Hainsley Ben ran. I ran also with Mr. Babb as well. And I've encountered that. I've encountered individuals that want change in St. Peter, but that system where there is so much money being passed, and I can tell you, I actually passed through 6 months during the last election, and I saw money that was being passed out. I saw a particular van that was there, and monies were being passed out. There were 3 gentlemen in the van, and that was in 6 months. And I saw a police officer there. I said, "Sir, do you see what's going on?" He said, "Yeah." I said, "Are you going to do something about it?" And he looked at me and said, "I'll lose my job." So that's one of the things that I know for sure that the Democratic Labour Party cannot compete with. They cannot compete with the amount of monies that's passed during elections by the Barbados Labour Party. So it's a very unfair.
Yeah, I
It's
agree
very
with you.
unfair.
Very unfair. And the
It's very
interesting
unfair.
thing, interesting. Thank you for that piece of information. And that's eyewitness. You saw this van
Yeah,
and you asked the police, can they do anything about it? And he said, "What, you want me to lose my job?"
that's
Huh?
what he said. That's what
That
he
you,
said.
the police said it to you, you want him to lose. If you want him to lose his job. Now,
Precisely. Yeah.
and yet still, Mr. Bob, even in those circumstances where it looked almost impossible, instead of making a war in the party, Apostle Canterbury, that his leader wanted to run, where in his heart he wanted to run, he moved aside and allow the leader of the party, the president
Yes.
of the party, to have preference.
Right. Well, that's commendable. That is what you that's what you want to have within the confines of understanding the bigger picture, so to speak, because it is a team effort. Okay, and the majority of individuals don't understand within like a party, you have a hierarchy system, you have a system of protocol, and for Mr. Babb to suggest to us that he stepped aside after his leader wanted to run in St. Lucie, that's pretty much commendable. I think that's the type of systemic activity you want from individuals who understand what the party is about. You don't want to create friction when you're moving as a team, okay? And I think in his mind, to have that level of understanding and also to have that level of, procedural operational skill is very, 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 very commendable. So, to hear him say that, my hat's off to you, Mr. Babb. That's fantastic.
Thank you.
And as somebody said, this is a man of character, and those are the, Apostle. You and I, we run organizations. You have a
Yes, ma'am.
church. I have a ministry been running for years, and these are the kinds of people that you want, in your organization. People who are not hungry for leadership and are hungry for power, but are willing to serve. And that is what is what. So, Mr. Bob, you're telling me, I mean, this is just amazing. I'm so happy you joined us tonight. This is amazing. When I would have loved for when the media came after you to find out. Well, it really came after the DLP to find out, oh, did you leave the DLP? Are you leaving now?
It's
You
funny.
know, what you should have told them this. You should have told them this story.
No, but I told them, I twisted it because I was just seeking to extend my involvement in the community. And honestly, I did not win, but during that campaign, I was welcomed into so many homes. I made so many friends in St. Peter. Even now, I went out on Saturday and met some of the people who are still called, and I still keep up with some of the old folks to see how they're doing, especially those persons who live alone. And so I had no regrets about being part of the 2022 election because it opened some other doors for me as well as an individual. And I only want to say to the people of Barbados that the same way that you took a chance on unknowns and on people who were elected and fail you and you vote them out, now that you're in a worse situation, do not allow the noise, the money, and the lights to get to you and don't allow you to make and will not allow you to make a decision in your best interest. The influencers are making a decision in their best interest. Because when you're working and you're getting a second salary, you're going to give it up. Especially when it pays an extra bill or allows you to have a life outside of what you would normally have. They are protecting their interests. You have the Barbadian, the masses of people have to protect their interests. And if a government is making you uncomfortable, you have a right to make them uncomfortable as well.
Right.
Yes,
right.
I mean this is just amazing. And what there's something Apostle said, and we don't want to skip over it, right? There's something Apostle said. Apostle talked about, I think it's his mic. There's something coming over your mic. I don't know if it's a fan or something, or is it my mic? I'll just mute everybody's mic until you're ready to speak. Then you just open. You talked about team, Apostle. You talked about team. You know, we're on the show, and everybody, we do different things on the show. Everybody have their niche area on the show. They do different things on the show. Team. In everything, there's team. Do you want your team to succeed? Or is it about yourself? You know, Apostle? Is it about the team or is it about what I want? What I want.
Right.
Go ahead, Apostle. I see your mic open.
The reality is that when you're working as a team, you must have a vision. And when the team is working cohesively towards the fulfillment of that vision, then you get better, you get faster, you get easier results. The moment that individuals are deviating from the vision, that's when you get division. Okay. And once you get division, what happens is then you become open to having problems in the area of supervision. So people no longer want to be supervised. So, and then finally you have the vision falling apart. But I think what is very important right now, especially for the Democratic Labour Party, is to make sure that the vision is very, very clear to the people of Barbados. We understand the word of the Lord tells us that where there's no vision, the people perish. And I like Amplify talks about the people run wild and they cast off restraint. And so I think it's critical right now for any organization to be very focused as to this is the vision, make the vision clear, as Habakkuk said, so that he who reads it may run with it. So as long as the Democratic Labour Party stays the course and not be disturbed by, a by-election that was very sudden on them and, did not allow for the type of, and that's something that has to change in Barbados, these sudden elements when it comes to elections. I think the Electoral and Boundaries Commission by now should have the right apparatus to determine when an election will be, how many weeks it will take to prepare before you actually go to the election. The idea of someone coming and saying, oh, nomination day is the 6th, election is going to be the 21st. I think the time has come for that to be thrown out of the door. That's really, very dictatorial, in my opinion, to have that type of operation. But if the Democratic Labour Party stays the course, I think sooner or later, the people of Barbados will begin to understand, based on much of what is happening right now, that yes, there is a need for there to be a change in the governmental structure that we have right now. And you can see that the team that is called the Barbados Labour Party, they're doing so much damage control to make sure that the public is not aware of the issues that they're having internally. So the way how they mask that, from what I've seen, is to publicize every little thing that is happening with the Democratic Labour Party. Make it big, make it look bad, make it look like, these are the people that you all really want to vote for, when all along what we're seeing is a complete demise of probably every aspect of the administration that's falling apart and falling to pieces right now. So I think to have a team effort is very, very important. And if they understand that, and if with Mr. Thorne, they continue to flow in that direction, I think sooner or later people will begin to catch on to it. But putting the vision up there is very, very important.
Yes, very important. And as the vision goes out, as you said, the team works behind it. And I just say, I can't. I'm still stunned by your response by your decision then, and your response to the circumstance that was presented before you, where you decided, you know what, I will be the bigger person.
Yeah.
And I will move on the way, and I will still support the party. So media, you lost out on this one. And I wish there would be more like him, Mr. Apostle Canterbury.
Yeah.
I wish even some of those that claim the name of Christ, they behave so selfish and power hungry. That they did not get their way, and therefore they're going to destroy the entire thing because they did not get their way. Go ahead, Mr. Babb.
I just want to leadership and how this government functions for years, and I've been around for a long time. And I want persons to understand in the party and outside the party that at no time in our history, political history, did anybody from the BLP supported the leader of the Democratic Labour Party. They found a way to paint the person in a negative light. So if it is not Mr. Thorne and it's some person else, rest assured the attention will be turned on them. So if persons allow themselves to get caught up in the negativity about the current leader, it is their ploy. They take off the head of the leader. They said Mr. Barr was a dictator. Then Mr. Stewart was there. He didn't say anything much. He became a quiet leader, probably to his detriment. But they found a way to paint his quietness in a negative light. They went after David Thompson as well. Then Clay Maskell was the leader. They went after as well. So I'm saying that if they are waiting, if the Democratic Labour Party is waiting for a particular person to get the approval of the Barbados Labour Party, they'll wait in vain. Mr. Thorne is the current leader of the party. You support him until the party decides, or those who are elected in party decide this is the person to lead us. But you support your leader, because if you don't support your leader and you're waiting for those persons who want to get a leader support, you're not going to get it. So you support who is chosen until such time another person is chosen. Do not get distracted. They're going to get called all kinds of names. They're going to call the leader Rat Boxy. They're going to call the current leader Rat. They're going to say he's a dictator. They're going to make a mock. And we should learn from political history. They made a song dance about the 8% pay cut, and then turn around at his funeral at the late Stanley First one said it was the most unselfish thing to ever, and most important decision to be made in the life of Barbadian politics. But you will not believe it at that point in time. If you walk down Broad Street after that cut, somebody would have licked you down.
And at this funeral, they were celebrating him.
Yes, that decision. So I'm saying, don't wait. You support who is there until such time that person is replaced.
Yeah. Apostle, I had muted you. Go right ahead, Apostle.
Yeah, I'm glad that Mr. Babb brought that up. Because here's the thing, and this is, a lot of individuals asked me over the years, even here in St. Peter, why I was, not a huge supporter of the Barbados, the Wiretapping-led administration. And it was because of a number of things, but also for what Mr. Babb said. Here's my point on this. You are an economist and supposed to be one of the the most notable economists in the Caribbean. You know that what a prime minister is doing with the 8% pay cut. You know what he's doing is, as you call it, a stroke of genius. Those were his words. What Mr. Sandiford did, he called it a stroke of genius. Okay? And you know what he's doing is going to save the country. And you are going to bring a no confidence motion against him and send the country into an election and then become the prime minister and then say that what he did was a stroke of genius. So I could never support such a person who knows that what is being done is saving the country. But you use the fact that at that time, the Democratic Labour Party was not, in terms of support of leadership, very strong, that you use that as an opportunity when you know what was being done. So when I heard those statements being made, and then I heard what was, said at the funeral and stuff, I was like, come on, seriously? You have to understand that we're not going to be, playing games. That was pretty much a move that is demonstrating you're an opportunist. If you know something is designed to stabilize the country, and you're going to act in a way to destabilize the country and then say, oh, wow, that move was a stroke of genius. Now, I can never, in my opinion, I can never support such an individual as a prime minister.
Yeah. It's a lack of integrity. And we're talking about here, guys, where we are seeking to, it's a wanting power. It's the same thing that was alleged that was done with the sewage. I don't understand how we're going to put our desires, what we want, above the country, above the nation. I thought we were going into leadership because of the love of country. There should be no kind of race contest that we're involved in, that would require us to destroy the country in order to get where we need to go. And I think that is what these two gentlemen they're talking about tonight, and it's called integrity. That's what it is, that you are the same thing. You're saying one thing, and that's why for me, when it comes on to the whole issue of crime, I've always said that we must take partisan politics out of it. To my detriment, some people get angry with me. I say that this should not be a political football.
Yeah.
Okay.
Well,
we need to look at it because this is we are in a life and death situation. I've always said that.
Yeah. Well, I can tell you before Mr. Babb comes in, you have to understand the psychology of leadership. Okay. Once you select a leader, you select a mindset. Okay. And that leader can hide the mindset that they have from you. So you can never go beyond what is in the mind of the leader. Okay. So let's just suggest that, like for instance, when I was at school, I had a particular teacher. Even though she was Black, she favored students who were lighter in color. So when she came to the class, the students, she rearranged the class so that the lighter students, or who she considered to be the brighter ones, would move instinctively to the, once we had her period, the class would shift. Okay. And so I started to realize that what we're dealing with here is a mindset.
Yes.
So leadership is as far as the mind of the leader is. And once you have figured out, like I have, the mindset of our current leader, I know exactly how far Barbados will go. Okay? And this is why it is so important for Barbadians to stop playing the game of my party, my party, my party, and understand that the nation is going to go only as far as the mindset of the leader. Okay? And this is very, very, very critical, especially as we reach the stage where we're definitely going into the next upcoming general election. But it's very, very critical. You look at the last 6 years of what we would call leadership in Barbados. And please understand, leadership is not only having the ability to speak well. Leadership is not just having the ability to look impressive on the international stage. Okay? What you want to do is to have those leaders, those individuals come to Barbados and see if the conditions in Barbados match a world-class destination. You come check the roads out and see what is going on. I live in St. Peter. Mr. Babb lives in St. Peter. The people will tell you, we hardly see Mr. Jordan. Okay? So as a leader, don't you think it is right for you to come to St. Peter, ask the residents, ask them a question. Do you see the person that I put forward to you, that you voted for in the last election? How often do you see him? What's the condition of your roads? What's going on with the Morris Byron Polyclinic? What's happening? Do you see him on a weekly basis? Is he around? So if you come as a leader into the constituency and realize the person you put forward is not visible, is not doing anything, and you tell me that you're going to still put that person back in the next election to run again after 5 years of being totally invisible? Now, leadership will say, I can't have you run again because you did not properly represent us in the last 5 years. We have to find someone else. But they're going to come back because they know that the people are ignorant. They know the people are stupid. They know the people, we vote VLP, we vote BLP, we vote, have a party again, make everything big, bring everybody over, throw a big party, play music, bring in the DJs, and, mess the people's minds up. When you look at the performance of the candidate, it is below 10%. So how am I going to bring someone back that has not done a good job and put them back in front of the people and say, give this person another 5 years? Seriously? So when we're talking leadership, we're talking mindset. And if you look at the mindset of the current leader, it is, listen, just vote for me. Okay, make sure that I'm the one that's leading. Don't worry about the others, they're just on the sideline. But I'm the person. You check that out, you'll see what's actually going on. And as I always say to individuals, I don't hate our current leader. I have no ill feelings towards her whatsoever. But I do understand that after so much time, something should have happened in Barbados to say to Barbadians, not to what you think would be good for them. Something should happen in Barbados for Barbadians to make things better. So again, once you select a leader, you have to quickly find out the mindset of that leader. Does that person like Black people? Does that person love the nation? Is that person just about themselves? Is that person a dictator? Is that person communist? You figure it out, because whatever the mindset of the leader is the consciousness that the people will have to live under.
Yes. Most definitely, man. This is, guys, this is good. This is some serious meat tonight, Mr. Babb. Folks, are you sharing? Are you liking? You know what they do. Mr. Chin is inside of my thing. You know that Mr. Chin inside of there, and they're doing all kinds of things that Mr. Chin to take off my Facebook. They're doing all kind of things. But tonight we said, devil, all Chinese devil go behind my back. Chinese devil. The Chinese devil that they bring inside of here to work on the technology. And now talking about all kind of things. They want bug people phone. Listen, we're going to get to that tonight. But listen, before the Chinese man come and get to thing, Everybody stop. Like up the thing. Like up the thing. Apostle Canterbury, church people, like up the thing and share it up. This is good. What we're doing here is good, guys. This is education, you know. This can help you in your own business. I'm like, yes, this is good. This is good for my organization. You're learning about leadership and all of that. Dave, play a little for me. Listen, Dave, before you start, this is our road march tomorrow. This is our road march. The devil we're putting him behind us out of Barbados. Play this.
Cause he is hell-bent, the devil on the loose, the devil on the loose. This guy as well, you just cannot tell. It's the devil on the loose, the devil on the loose. So don't be a victim, keep resisting. Hold on to your children, keep protecting. And when the devil comes, well, you just have to say, yeah, get out behind me, Satan. Get out behind me, Satan. Push back on the devil, push back on the devil. Don't get caught in this spell, cause you will not fare well. The thing to do is simply tell the devil, go to hell. The devil, the devil, the devil, push the devil, the devil, the devil, the devil.
Oh my Lord, listen. Folks, I don't know what they must have gone throw me out the church tomorrow, because I am telling you, Apostle, Apostle, tomorrow I dancing. Apostle, I tell you, tomorrow I dancing on that street, and I am putting the devil behind me tomorrow. And I tell you, all of them, all of those wicked spirits out of Barbados.
Come on.
Apostle.
Come on.
Oh my Lord, I don't know what I got. Mr. Bob, Mr. Bob, you're coming tomorrow, Mr. Bob?
Yes, I am. Yes.
Oh, listen, Mr. Bob, you go have to hold me. You know when you're holding people in the church, somebody have to hold their right hand and their left hand, because you're going to fall out. Because tomorrow, when they start on the road tomorrow, I don't know what they're going to do with me. The pastors, them are going to ride me, because I have to keep the waistline down. But at least I won't jump. Anybody, listen, this is in the church, we don't just jump, just be vertical. You gotta just go vertical. Don't go sideways. Don't go sideways. That is how we dance. We go up and down. All right. So tomorrow, folks, listen, it's gonna be amazing out there, because we're driving out the devil. We're driving the devil out of our community, out of our constituencies, out of our churches, out of the government, out of the parliament, out of everywhere. You hear what I tell you?
Yes, ma'am.
The devil taking a back seat, Apostle. Oh, Lord, Apostle.
Look,
where was I?
You're fired up. I think you should take a breather. You're fired up.
Listen, but Apostle, you were telling us about some of the things that you saw happen to your mind in the St. James North. We're going to talk a little bit about that. Mr. Barber, do you mind if I keep you on a little longer?
Yeah, you can. Yes.
Yes, and we would just chat together.
Yes.
Go ahead, Mr. Apostle.
Okay. I've had like I said, I've lived in St. Peter, pretty much all my life. And what I saw in that election, number one, when you look at the amount of votes that Mr. Dujon received, it is right pretty much in line with the votership turnout for the Democratic Labour Party.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. The Barbados Labour Party lost about 1,500 votes in that election, speaking on the correction. And then the vast majority of voters did not turn out to vote. Okay. And that says a lot. So technically, when you really look at the numbers in terms of not winning and losing, but in terms of support, it's actually a pretty big win for the Democratic Labour Party. Okay. for her being going out there for the very first time and moving in, among the community. I think she did very, 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 very well. Okay. What I saw though is the reality that there are aspects of St. James North that are very heavy, and I'll share this on the show tonight. The aspects of that area are very, very heavy in terms of the drug culture, street culture. So you have pockets like Roadview, you have pockets like Weston, over there in that area where Thunder Bay is, which is frequented by a lot of political figures. You have the Garden area as well too. But one of the key components that should be understood about St. James North is that the area of St. James North comprises what we call the Platinum Coast, a very, very high area of the Platinum Coast, going from Porter's, Folkestone, okay, and you're coming down Folkestone. You have a lot of major hotels, a lot of major properties, a lot of high-end element that, a lot of building that's going on, and it becomes difficult for individuals who have ingrained themselves into the system, the political system in Barbados, to want to switch over to another party when I'm currently in the process of building and restructuring. So I'm not gonna interfere with that until I'm finished doing what I'm doing. So
Yes.
Miss Dujon, she's in that area where you have what we would call the underworld, and then you have the very high-end elements. Okay, so that combination, unfortunately, was very difficult for her to tap into. Now, I'll tell you this: in my first time when I went into the political arena, I was contacted by a very, very wealthy individual. I'm not going to say too much, but he is part owner of a very, very, very high-end, destination here and complex here in Barbados. So I was invited to his house, and just to give you an idea of this, he invited me, and I went, and we had a conversation. While I was there, there was a telephone conversation that went on between him and a contractor, and let's just say one of the tiles in the house, they were ordering tiles, and one of the tiles was $2,400 US for one tile in that edifice. Okay.
Yeah.
So we got into talking, and he said, okay, well, one of the things that my wife and I we do is that we give a particular amount of money to the Ministry of Education every year. And so he told me what the amount was, and so I said, basically, if you give this particular amount of money, if the Ministry of Education, say for instance, buys a van to do courier, take information between the Ministry of Education to the government office or to schools around the island. But when you really look at it, that what you're doing for the Ministry of Education, that really isn't helping education. It's not enough to help education. Okay, but that's something that they do. So we have a system where there are individuals who they put stuff in, but they think it's helping. It's not really helping.
Right.
So in that zone, you're coming down the West Coast, you're coming down Folkestone, you're coming down into, Colony Club, coming into Old Queen's Fort, you're coming into the Royal Pavilion, Glitter Bay, you're coming into, You know, the new property that's being built there as well too. You're coming all the way down the garden, and on the, if you're coming north on your left, you're going to pass a stretch of high-end properties. Okay, so that is an area where I believe that was very difficult for the Democratic Labour Party to get into.
Yes.
But outside of that, I mean, you're going to come right down to Roadview, and right at Roadview you have St. Peter's Bay. You know, you have Carpenter's Cove. You go right back up there. You got Mullins Beach. You got, you know, the She Shed. You got Sandalo. You got all of these major high-end properties that's going up there. That's a challenge in terms of the high-end level and then also the underworld level. And at this point, you would know that the present government has their connections there. So it would have been, that area would have been very difficult, for the Democratic Labour Party to get into. But as far as I'm concerned, when you look at her numbers and compare her numbers to previously held elections, you'll find that she's not very far from that full turnout that the Democratic Labour Party usually gets in that area. So very, very happy about that. Okay, so you know, going forward, I think one of the things that we definitely need in Barbados is that we need to have the elements of the underworld to take their hands off the elections. Okay, elections are supposed to be free, they're supposed to be fair, and we can never have a free and fair elections if certain individuals can be given a certain amount of money and they can go out there and corral all the young people that they have connections to, and make sure that they go hand out the shirts and whatever, and make sure that they're all a part of the bandwagon, make sure that they're voting. So it's not a vote that is based on, let me assess the two candidates, let me talk with them, interact with them, find out what their vision is, and vote based on that. It is, you know, it's manipulated voting. And that's something that I believe must be looked into very, very seriously. Barbados is too small a country for us to have that level of manipulation when it comes to the area of politics and elections. So, you know, I'm pretty much very happy with what I saw, and, you know, John, just, you know, keep, you know, her head up high and keep moving and keep being there where the people are concerned. The time is coming when it's going to break, and I'm looking forward to that moment. So that's part of what I share with you, and thanks for letting me share that on the session tonight.
Yes. Sorry about that noise there. I forgot to close a particular window, so I find a time to close it. But I'm seeing a very interesting assessment there. Somebody from the area says, they said Mrs. Canterbury is very true. They're from St. James North. And they said, believe him. And they said Mount Stanfast and Westmoreland is high end for DLP. But let me ask you, I see Mr. Adrian Hines there, which I'm going to bring him in very, very soon. I see him sitting there. We really want to hear from him. But let me just as I bring him into the session, let me ask you, Mr. Babb, before we go to him. Mr. Babb, what are your views on what you heard, you heard from Apostle Canterbury on his assessment on the election results, etc.?
I believe that the election results, we have to look at them in the holistic point of where our support was, how much of that support we maintained, or how much we lost, based on the short nature of the campaign. And the short nature of the campaign was purposely done because they knew that they had the resources in terms of money that they could have managed a short campaign and put the other candidate at a disadvantage, because a longer campaign would have given the underdog a bit more time to get their messages across and probably win over a couple of more votes. So they are strategic, just like they were strategic in 2022 to call an early election, because their election machinery, the BLP's election machinery, they are set up their systems to win elections and not necessary to win over people by meeting their needs or fighting the issues. So they have put that in place. And I just want to say that as a point that the apostle made earlier about being at home and overseas, we have a Jekyll and Hyde leader, two completely different persons that we're dealing with. And it comes across that the people of Barbados got a bad dog, and then you can't go in the yard to either feed it or you gonna go in your yard. And when you get a dog at that stage, and your yard is trying to get rid of it, we have a situation where we have a leader, like today, defending the tint law. All she was doing to me was defending her piggy bank initiative. Because when that first came up, she said she don't want anybody locked up. She want money. So today, don't mind the pretty thought, it was a defense of her bank initiative. And that was to get money from wherever it came from. And she knew, and she knows that for a lot of the average Barbadians who may probably just save enough to buy a car and it's tinted or it came with the tint, that is an added cost to them. And it's not really the solution to what is causing the crime or in Barbados, or even the solution to what is happening in schools. But as they do, as part of their ploy, is to point the voters in a different direction and away from what the real issues are. So it makes them look good and appear as if they're doing something, when in fact they're only protecting their own nest.
Good point.
Yes, yes. But, I was talking to Adrian. I think it was yesterday. Adrian, welcome to the show. Always a
Hi,
pleasure to
everybody.
have you.
Good
And
night.
we knew we had to have you on tonight because you're not going to be. Birdie told me that we're not going to see you much for the next 2 weeks. So I'm so happy that you could join us tonight. But sir, Adrian, we hear we hear now the spin on the tint, right? The tint has a spin. So we're kind of changing the conversation here now to crime. Okay, Apostle. So
Yes, ma'am.
Adrian, we're hearing now that there is, it wasn't for it was just for the police because the police asked for it. Was that what you heard from this government when it was first introduced? What went to your mind when you heard them making this new spin on the tint? What were your thoughts?
Yeah, the new spin on it was as a result of all the backlash that they got. They finally come out with something that is more plausible, because nobody believed that it was related to was a good way to fight the kind of crime that the country is experiencing. They just thought, because all along they were looking for all types of reasons to pass the blame for the violence and the crime in Barbados on. It was parenting, it was the gangs, it was everything except government's responsibility. So when some people say it didn't occur and some said it did occur, that the police went to them and said, hey, look, we really need this thing to be addressed, just as a standard policing safety and citizens safety perspective, when approaching for a simple traffic stop. There's a level of anxiety of a policeman approaching a car that they just stop and can't see who's in it. So that kind of makes sense, but they saw it as an opportunity to add that tint as another reason for why there's crime out there, and that's how they try to market it. That it was all crime, because I mean, everywhere you go, everybody heard the same thing, and that's why there was such a large cry out against it. It made no sense. So now that after the backlash, they're coming out and giving a plausible reason that they're saying that the police came to them. That's doubtful too, but nevertheless, I could see from a crime a law enforcement safety perspective why they would be concerned among lawmen about heavy tinted cars. But
Yeah.
yeah, it was politics. That's all this government does. That's all this leader does, is approach governance with a lot of politics. How do I win the day? How do I win the argument? And that's the core to her press conferences, to her many speeches. is about winning something. It's about benefiting her and building that legacy. It's not about real governance in the interest of people.
Yeah. I was thinking, Apostle Canterbury, with all of, as I talk with policemen and read in the, read articles and so on in the newspaper of just various needs of the police. We did not hear at that press conference. They did not, when they announced the tint, they did not make it clear that this is what, because the police wanted this. And here are some other things that the police want. Here are some other things that would make the police job, easier. We did not hear about all these different things. What we heard, it was a press conference, if I remember well, and somebody can correct me, dealing with the crime level in Barbados. And the Attorney General was there, remember? And she was out for a long time. And she came in and she talked and talked and talked and talked and talked, right? And then she came up with this tint thing and she looked around. It's almost like she came up with it. It appeared to some of us, we were saying, like she made it up on the spot, because the Attorney General couldn't even back her up, because she said that it would take effect in 6 weeks. Who remember that?
I did.
And Mr. Thorne came in and said, no, it can't be. Because there is something wrong there. People's constitutional rights. You have to go back and fix the law. Okay, you remember that? So now to come and miss what do you call that now, Apostle Canterbury? That you have this leader coming now to say, hold a minute, because the people are killing them on social media and telling them that it's stupid and there's no correlation. They are now saying, oh, but we did it for the police. What do you call that? What Apostle Canterbury? What do you call that?
Let me just say this: we have a commissioner of police, okay, and if that is something that an issue that the police are experiencing, that is a press conference for the commissioner of police. That is not a press conference for the Prime Minister and the Attorney General. Okay, that is a press conference for the commissioner and his team to come to the public and say, we're experiencing this situation. Okay, so let me go ahead and add this, by the way, because I'm seeing a lot of unrighteousness that's going on in this situation. I remember years ago when Adriel Brathwaite was the Attorney General. That particular year, they had 19 homicides, okay? And the present Attorney General said he needs to resign. 19 in 364 and a quarter days. We have 22 in half a year.
23 now.
23. Oh my God.
Sorry, 20. Let me update. Let me go ahead and update my info here, please.
Yeah. 23 and 24. 24 weeks.
23 in 24 weeks. One Attorney General needed to resign at 19 for the whole year. 23 in 24 weeks, he's still the Attorney General. How is that possible for you to have literally 4 more in less than half a year? One man had 19 in a whole year. He should resign. You have 23 now, and you should still remain the Attorney General. The Prime Minister should have fired him by now. That's the type of governance we're talking about. But ladies and gentlemen, as I said, when you have a leader, it's the mindset of the leader. And what you're seeing right now is the mindset of our current leader is being displayed before the public. And unfortunately, only a certain group of people are beginning to realize it. It's not leadership.
No.
It's not leadership. Okay? It's just, I don't know,
survival.
Years ago, when you got to prove, your mom, they get a piece of plaster or whatever, or they'll come and kiss it and say, well, you know, you're feeling better. That's all that's happening. There's a whole lot of stuff going on, a lot of kissing up to the public, a lot of fanfare, a lot of, just covering up. But there's really no leadership that's going on here. That press conference should have been a press conference from the commissioner of police. If they are having that much of a problem with tint, that's their portfolio to come to the public. That's not a portfolio for the prime minister and the attorney general to come to the public and tell them about tint. It's hilarious. I'm serious. You can't. It's one thing to have a circus act with trapeze artists and and different individuals, but when you have a circus and all the acts are clowns, you got an issue. I won't be paying to go to that for sure.
Listen, I love how he says the circus act. Go ahead, Mr. Babb.
Marcy, I want you all to remember. I want you to remember something. And sometimes when persons are not fired, but y'all remember that in which year, 2013 or before, wasn't the attorney general part of the group that replaced her for Owen Apple?
Yes.
Yes.
That's correct.
And you have some person in your cabinet who is making these type of errors, who even refuse to speak. Sometimes get the case, the notion that it is about keeping your enemy close.
Yeah,
because
I think that is telling us.
Those of us who are slow, just go over that, and then I know Adrian gonna jump on that, but just say it again slower for me, Mr. Go ahead.
Something you have to think outside the box when it comes to a leader.
Okay.
Surviving or trying to survive, and we recall that the attorney general was part of that group.
Yeah.
Who replaced her. Cut off her head, then she was expected to lead the party in 2013. But now you have an attorney general who could be the worst across the politics in Barbados, but he keeps his portfolio and remains in the cabinet. He's probably performing worse than anybody else. I am saying that this is maybe a case of survival, and she's keeping her enemy close to her.
Very much so. Data 77 just said that. She can't touch him. He's holding quite a few secrets for her. Can't touch him.
That's the allegation that she has secrets. Allegation.
Yeah, he is not bothered one bit. He's not bothered one bit. But this is where you got a hot and sweaty rush to the microphone personality running a walk back government. That's what you have. Hot and sweaty, rush to the microphone, runchy mouth, and ends up walking back all types of legislations.
Yeah. But look at, this whole thing about this lie detector. Now we know that yes, lie detector can be a crime fighting solution. It has been used in lots of different countries. I have not done the research as yet to see how effective that has been to countries that have can do the lie detector tests. And now she's having I keep calling it the wrong name, but where help me, what's the term that not the spying. I'm saying spying, but it's another one. Tell me now, guys, what
wiretapping.
The wiretapping.
Oh.
The wiretapping, right? The wiretapping. So she's coming with these measures. Now we know that those things are possibly we can put it part of the arsenal. But I'm wondering, I gave the analogy at the beginning of the show, gentlemen and viewers, of I'm in my house with my husband and my children. My husband, I consider him the leader of the home, right? And I am in the house there. The roof is leaking and the beds are wet, Adrian, water up to my knee. And I'm screaming out, as because I'm very dramatic, as you could tell. I am screaming out and saying, oh, water coming in, we can't swim, what we're going to do, whatever. And the husband said, we're going to fix this. All right. And then I look and I see him fixing the old gate that was had broken down for a long time. What do you think me and the children are going to be thinking? And then all of a sudden, we started to fix the old step that broke down. That was broken down from years ago, from the first child was born. He's fixing the step, right? And then we see cutting down the tree outside. What am I, as his wife, to think about that kind of leadership?
Fixing long-term problems where short-term problems go unfixed.
What you said, Adrian?
No, I was saying he fixing the long-term problems when the short-term problem of near drowning it needs to be looked at.
Needs to be looked at. So it's a matter of, and this is my view. We can discuss it, but this is my view about, yes, tint for the police, I can understand that. We now have to look at how is that going to truly affect this dire situation. Adrian, you're not on the ground, but when I tell you people are not feeling safe, they're not feeling safe right now. We're in a dire situation, and you come up with tint. And then the next thing that comes out of your mouth, we hear a lie detector. The next thing we hear about is wiretapping. We don't hear about any serious measure about the big matics that coming into the country. Everybody and their mother and grandson have a gun. We're not hearing about those kinds of things. Did you know that 2 persons were shot just a few yards down from where I live?
No way, really? Wow.
Yes, 2, and 1 died and 1 battling for their life. Robberies. We're having serious robbery issues. And here it is. They are coming with these. I'm not doubting that they can't do anything, but Adrian, I'm Dr. Apostle Canterbury, Mr. Babb, I can't help but think that somehow is either in the case with me and my husband and children that he really did want to get rid of us a long time. He know we can't swim.
Swim, right?
He know we can't swim, Adrian. And that man wanted his freedom. Yes. And me and them 3 children, he want us the water to reach here, and we drown a long time. Or my husband is just turned an idiot.
Yeah. Don't worry, honey. I can get to that as soon as I fix these other things. Don't worry. While he watches the water rise.
While he watches the water rise, he's pretending outside with a hammer to fix the gate.
Oh my!
He don't really. It's telling me as his wife is either he don't really want to fix the roof, he really want to kill us inside there, or it is that he has gone mad. Yeah.
So can I ask though? I mean, I have not been hearing about the wiretapping and the what was the other thing? The truth verification testing as contemplated legislation. Have they started to legislate these bills, bring them and read them in Parliament, or she just talked about it as something coming? Where are they in terms of they being proclaimed? Anybody knows?
I don't know, Mr. Babb. Is this being discussed right now in Parliament?
The reason why I'm asking, remember, this government is one that just seems to think up issues that then dominates the public discourse.
We call it going on the fly, Adrian.
Huh?
We call it in sport going on the fly.
Right.
You're going on the fly.
as a way of getting the people to change the narrative and to change people's focus. So I'm wondering if she just brought these 2 things up when currently there isn't any such legislation being read in Parliament or being brought to Parliament or even being discussed at the cabinet level, that she just brought it out of thin air so that people would go off about wiretapping, because there's a lot to discuss about wiretapping, you know. I don't know if you guys remember, there was a Police Service Commission's inquiry back in 2013, I believe, with regards to illegal wiretappings for over a decade. You all remember that?
Yes, yes.
right? Because so yeah, because I mean, I did mention that wiretapping may be a good thing in terms of fighting the current level of violence and crime we got in Barbados, but we must also be cognizant of it being in Barbados and how um, things that are intended for good use are then used for bad things. But this wiretapping thing has a bad rap in Barbados already. Again, the Police Service Commissions, there was an inquiry. The evidence found that the Royal Barbados Police Force had been conducting illegal wiretaps for over
Don't
a
call any
decade.
names. Don't call any names. Just read it
That
without
is
the names.
public information. That's public information out there, right? You go and pull up Nation News and put in
And
illegal wiretapping, and it will
you're
come
reading.
right
Are
up.
you reading from Nation News?
Yes,
You're
yes,
reading from Nation News right now. Can you send me the
yes.
link and let me put it up before you read it? Send me the link, my brother.
All right, all right.
Send me
Yeah.
the link. While you're doing that, you focus and send me that link. So because my legal team tell me I can read from a newspaper. I spoke to him today. So we want to read from the newspaper because we know that they're watching us. I know Adrian reading from the newspaper, but I want to show you that we're reading from the newspaper. So he's gonna send that. But go jump in, Apostle.
Well, I'll tell you this, that has never stopped. Okay. That issue of wiretapping in Barbados, back in the 2001, when our ministry had the issue during COVID, and my wife and I ended up at Paragon. We were contacted by Caswell, Mr. Franklin, and he told us, please, I got information that your phones are being tapped. Please turn your phones off. And that's one of the reasons why we were not able to reach out during, even to our team during that time, because we were told that our phones were tapped. So we had to pretty much turn our devices off. So that is not something, he said that information was shared with him if he could, to reach out to us and to give us that information. So I am telling you that it is not stopped. It has not stopped in Barbados. And this is one of the reasons why, as I said before, Barbados is too small a country for this level of corruption. And as Adrian said, back in 2000, that was a huge situation that led to resignations.
Yep.
That was a huge situation. And it was something that was being illegally done. Okay. So I think that the public in Barbados needs to be brought up to scratch with the fact that when they're now coming and talking about introducing things, it's stuff that's pretty much already tested. I spoke to a gentleman who spoke to an individual that was here in Barbados undercover, and he told me that in the comments, because he's into tech, he told me that the gentleman actually took him into a scenario where they pointed a certain piece of apparatus that they had towards a particular building, and you could hear the conversation that was going on in the building. So when they're talking about wiretapping, there's technology now that goes way beyond wire. They don't have to tap your phone and stuff now. They can set up a vehicle, off your house, off your business, and zero in, listen in to your conversations. It's crazy, and you realize that even with your cell phone, a lot of the apps are just there to keep you located, to let people know where you are, follow where you're going, and knowing where you're frequenting and different things like that. So when they're now saying, oh, we're looking at this, they already looked at it. Okay. They've already played with it, and now they just want to let people think that we're now introducing it. No, it's been here ever since. It's been in operation. It's been used, and I think it's very important for the public to be aware. They said to be forewarned is to be forearmed. So this is something that we need to be updated on for sure.
Yeah, I will tell you this, that when we had our roadside parliament, that it was pointed out to me that Mr. Dotson was visiting our roadside parliament and was in the very, very back, came in and slid in the back. And it made me wonder, and I can say that because of the truth, he was there. And so, it made me wonder what was really happening. Did he really come to take in the roadside parliament, or what happens? And I have been telling my husband for so long that there's something wrong in my phone. And I remember there are particular people that whenever I talk to them, all kinds of things start to happen. Sometimes we just burp in the phone and do all kinds of things on them in the phone, because we know that they listen. And we don't, what, my life is an open book. You know what I mean? I don't have anything to hide, But Mr. Bob, Dave, I don't know if Dave can check the private chat and to help us to get some of these articles up. We need to read them so that Barbadians can understand what their government is capable of.
Yep.
Go ahead, Mr. Bob.
I just want to say something about the lie detector. There are a number of questions that we want the Prime Minister to answer. We should be the first to take the lie detector test. What about the true nature of the bank that they gave the line?
So let's make it. So these are the we would like the Prime Minister of Barbados to take the lie detector test to answer these questions. Go ahead, Mr. Bob.
What is the true story around the bank that got the land free? Where did the bounty come from?
These are questions for the lie detector test.
What was the involvement, what extent was the involvement of the vaccine scandal? Those are the things that you could take a lie detector test for. As it relates to wiretapping, will those persons who have her on speed dial be subject to wiretapping? That's the question I want to post tonight.
Those are some serious questions, Madam Prime Minister. Will you be the first to take the lie detector test? These are some of the things that we want to know. Do you have, by any chance, you have any connections? It's a question we're asking. It's just a question. Do you have any connections by any chance to anybody in the criminal world? It's a question. I'm not making a statement. We want to know, can you take the lie detector test on that so that we can be at ease? Do you have any, all of these questions? Can you write in the comment section the other questions you would like the PM to answer when she's taking this lie detector test tonight?
Like she would ever answer. But yeah, so that's why I asked the question. If these things are already in the pipeline in terms of becoming law, or if it's just another hot and sweaty rush to the microphone soundbite to create a talking point to distract Barbadians.
Right.
Because that's a reality, that's a possibility that these two things were just mentioned to get people all excited, find something to talk. It's always something. There's a whole list, because the economy is so bad, right? This government has no money other than what they has borrowed, right? And they must always find things to distract people from that, because governments are kicked out of office when the economy is not good. And it may be that they need to keep that truth, if it is true, away from Barbadians by engaging Barbadians in a whole list of highly controversial talking points for the duration of their term. So we don't know. We don't know. But this has been news. There is
But I would like for you to read what is we got it up and and I knew he had it, but I just want to, because they watch the show, Adrian. So my legal people tell me, Marcia, if it's in an article, you can read it. Go ahead. You go ahead and read it, my brother.
You want me to read what's on
What's on the screen?
what
Yes.
they've just put up? Yeah, while Home Affairs Minister, who's this? Clement Rohi,
Or this. Okay, go
speaking
ahead.
about
Yeah.
while Home Affairs. I think this is in Guyana when they were talking about that. I would prefer to read the Barbados Today.
Barbados Today. Yes. Okay. Thank you.
Yeah. Where
Arthur hits back.
they briefly mentioned the part that I was reading. That there have been. This is Barbados Today.
So let me just read this here, and then I guess he has them in order. Former Prime Minister Owen Arthur has hit back as retired Commissioner of Police Darwin Dutton over the claims of wiretapping Barbados during their time of office. Arthur told the Daily Nation that despite denying his involvement in illegal wiretapping in the lead story, Dutton still suggested receiving authorization to do so from himself and other prime minister.
Whoa.
Okay. Listen, this is the same. Now they're coming to make it seem as though this is something, as you were saying, Apostle, something that is brand new. That here it is, according to the Nation News. I can't see the date on this Nation News because of how it is on the screen. But he's saying that he would have received from other ministers, right?
Mm-hmm.
Right.
Right.
That's correct. That's correct. That's in the news.
It's
That's
dated
in the news.
February 12th, 2018.
February
Yeah.
12th, 2018. So, Dave, let's go to the Barbados Today. Thank you.
Right.
The other article, Barbados Today.
And-
Yes.
Yeah, it's Nation News as well too. Nation News still has it.
Yeah, Barbados Today has one from 2019.
2019. You know, we like to tell you the truth on here. Go ahead, Dave. Can you go up a little bit? Thank you.
Yeah.
Right, we're not able to read it just as yet because it's flowing on there. Guys, I know we passed the calling in, but I think we need to spend some time on this. I think we need to spend some time on this. Okay, go. You want to read, Adrian?
Yeah, as Barbados looks for a solution to a wave of violent crimes sweeping the country to address, I'll read it from because some of the words are cut off.
We can't read it on what is up. I'm sorry.
Hold on a minute. Yeah, as Barbados looks for a solution to a wave of violent crimes sweeping the country, one prominent criminal attorney does not believe introducing wiretapping legislation is the way to address the issue. In fact, Queen's Counsel Andrew Pilgrim believes police officers in Barbados do a good enough job investigating and therefore do not need to go to such lengths. Wiretapping is defined as the monitoring of telephones and internet conversations by a third party, often by covert means. It is widely used internationally in countries such as the US, Canada, and India. In Canadian law, police are allowed to wiretap without the authorization from a court when there is the risk of imminent harm, such as kidnapping or a bomb threat. In the first month of 2019, Barbados has already recorded 9 murders and over a dozen shootings. Most of these have been linked to the illegal drug trade and criminal turf conflicts. There has been reports that illegal wiretapping has been conducted in Barbados for more than a decade. An official probe conducted by the Police Service Commission has previously indicated that the practice has been carried out by the Royal Barbados Police. 2 officers of the special branch gave sworn affidavits that the PSC admitted to carrying out wiretappings under instructions. In an interview, Pilgrim told Barbados Today he saw no need for wiretapping legislation. I am convinced that phone tapping is the way forward as a way of detecting crime in Barbados. Generally, I am of the view that the police in Barbados do a fairly good job of making their arrests without phone tapping. There are so many other scientific methods of getting good evidence, he said. The veteran lawyer said the pros of wiretapping were far outweighed by the cons. Balancing the benefit of phone tapping for the prevention of crime against the serious risk of people's privacy is too great. I don't like the idea of people having to give up their privacy so that crime investigation can be improved. Crime investigation in Barbados is pretty good as it is, Pilgrim said. But another criminal lawyer had a different view on the matter. Mohaya Mahat told Barbados today that with the recent upsurge in violent crimes, wiretapping would provide useful information once it was properly used. You want me to go further? I can go
Right.
further.
So we could stop there once it
Uh,
was properly used. And
yeah.
so that is the challenge with a kind of government like we have. Is that what you're saying, Adrian?
Yes, with allegations that sometime in the past there may have been some wrongdoing, allegedly, right? And we know this. We know this in Barbados that when people with authority, from the watchman up, that has the keys, when they have a little authority, they like to exercise it. Well, you give me a set of keys for some reason, or the security guard that has a gun. Well, I got a gun for some reason. They're always looking for a reason to use it. So I unfortunately cannot be convinced that professionalism and civility and the rule of law, and the law would prevent persons from attempting to use these new technologies in a sinister manner, right? Or for personal gain. That is always a threat in Barbados. There are myriad of stories where authority has been misused for personal gain, and that's the fear that we have. Hopefully, that the law surrounding the use of these new tools, these new crime fighting tools, would be so stringent that it would make it extremely difficult for anybody to abuse them. But again, hard because we don't have any integrity legislation. We don't have any transparency in governance. No real whistleblowing. Nowhere for the fourth estate to demand public documents. As a right of law. It's none of that. None of the guardrails that would protect or hinder someone from using these extremely aggressive tools in a illegal or unlawful manner.
Yeah, but I'm seeing documents today that said that leaders within the same government, that there are leaders within this present government that have abused the document is alleging that the leaders of this same government that they have abused wiretapping to wiretap people in the opposition, people in the government that they didn't like, and all of that. There is a document that is going around making those allegations, and actually I tried to call somebody today because they didn't just have any document. They seem to have taken out of Mr. Babb, taken out a piece of an actual. You could see that is an actual document that they took something out of, and there's the allegation is that there are people within the same government that have been spying on the document. I can call the names that they said that they were spying on. Right? Let me read that, because I can that part I can do.
I have that same information too. Yeah, hey, it's common knowledge that well, it should be common knowledge, but it's out there that that these tools, which were designed to fight crime and to prevent terrorism and all that stuff, was actually used for political reasons.
Yeah. And these are some of the where are the names? I want to, because some people might not have gotten it. Why can't I find it? No, I think I had sent that to you too, Adrian.
Yeah, somebody else sent it to me too. Does it have the words "regrettably, the illegal wiretapping was strictly and solely for political purposes and was not used to fight against crime"?
Yes, and but read just the names of the people it was used.
It was revealed that among the home's phones of those bugged were Prime Minister Owen Arthur, David Thompson.
So hold a minute. That must be why Arthur didn't know about it. Sorry. he didn't order it. He was being tapped. He was being wiretapped. Oh, Owen Arthur. Well, it's according to this document, Owen Arthur was wiretapped. Who else was wiretapped?
David Thompson, members of the Police Service Commission, a deputy commissioner of police, former, a magistrate or judge. I even see Sandra Mason name on here, and Valton Ben, and even Kerry Simmons' name was on here. Hillary Beckles, Frondell Stewart.
All these people, it's
all these
alleged
names were
being
listed
tapped.
as allegedly being wiretapped.
They were being wiretapped. So in another couple months, if they do, you're gonna see Marcia Weeks' name on there. You're gonna see Reverend Canterbury. They probably can't do Adrian. They're gonna see Mr. Babb. They're gonna see all these names. Is that what we are coming to? Is that I already know. I'm totally convinced that they're not just into my phone, Adrian, but they're into my computer, Facebook. And told me people. I don't have, no personal Instagram, no personal Facebook. No,
there are walkie-talkies for $50 that will cover the entire length of Barbados. You give one to somebody down in St. Lucie and you on Christchurch, and you all can communicate on channels outside the scope of any wiretapping mechanism that they would have. So there are ways around it, and we can also go back to what the Angolans used to do against the French in Angola. Use radios. There's so many ways you can get around people who want to wiretap and stuff like that. But just to say that. But yes, there is that concern that the powers that be in Barbados, there's that tendency to use official tools for personal gain, and that is a legitimate fear and concern.
Election is coming up too. Election is coming up, Mr. Babb. So all of this, all of a sudden, and that's Apostle Canterbury has been saying that is the thing that we hate about these leaders, that everything seems to be about their gain. Election is coming up. They want to hear what the other party is planning, what they're doing. They want to get into my phone. I don't know why they would want to get, what more they want to get in my phone for. But they want to, all of these things they want to do to benefit themselves. It's not about no crime. It's not about no crime. Why haven't we heard anything about the borders? Why haven't they decided that they're going to search the containers that come in? What about when are we going to find out who these tiles that were coming in?
Well, how many poor people that's bringing containers?
Huh?
How many poor people that's bringing containers? Well, you ask the question if they're checking at the border, if they're checking containers as they come in. So I'm asking, how many poor people that's bringing containers? I guarantee you that this check the barrels though, right? I guarantee you that this check the barrels that's come in.
Well, not all barrels, and especially containers. There are particular people that they don't check their containers. In fact, what I'm hearing, there's an 80-20 rule that they only check 20% of the containers. And then they're saying the scanners are not working and so on. Why are we skipping over all of these important things, Apostle Canterbury? I see you're trying to say something there.
Listen, I've heard so many stories of individuals saying containers left the port and were brought onto a public site, private site.
Yeah.
And I had one particular report from an individual who explained to me that the person from the customs came to the property. The individual's son came out, opened the container, and opened the doors of the container. The person stood up at the mouth of the container, looked around for a few moments, and then walked away.
Yeah. Yep.
Okay. So
yep.
So you're asking how are guns getting into Barbados? Okay. The type of weaponry that we're seeing being used cannot be brought in other than it's coming in illegally or coming in through some higher level of operation. Okay, so when you have containers that are coming out of the port going to a private site, and then persons that are supposed to go there and properly inspect these containers are going there and not doing their job because of whatever reason, this is where we're having our problem. This
Well, you know what I
having...
can say now, right? That we attacking the customs officers.
No, listen, you know, Serenade said there was, you know, a lot of stealing there back in the day.
Yeah.
You know, I think it was Mr. Deal that sang the song, and I think it's one of his songs where he asked the question, can you tell me why our customs officers are so camera shy? When they
Yeah, I like that one.
you know, when they were attempting to put the cameras up. But no, I mean, customs officers should understand, and this is not an attack on them, but the safety of, they are also a part of the safety protocol that we have in Barbados, to make sure that the things that are coming into our islands, to make sure that that's safe. You know, that things are not coming in. I mean, I know if you bring a barrel in and you just have food items, I mean, they make you take everything out.
Yes.
They make you take everything out.
Very true.
Yeah,
The
they
few
make
times
you take everything out.
that I brought in barrels, I had to skin everything out.
There you go. So I'm saying, how do you have a system where a container, a 40-foot container, leaves the port, goes to a private site, and then the individual comes there and does not do a thorough job to make sure that there's nothing illegal. There's nothing illegal in the container. So that's one of the things I think is important, that containers are checked at the port. They're properly checked to make sure that there's no illegal substances or firearms coming into the item. That's something that I think is very necessary. And we need to help our, you know, we need to bring in sniffer dogs or you know, new technology, updated technology to help the custom officers do a thorough job when they're dealing with these containers. Because if they don't, and they allow the container to come into Barbados, not properly checked, and their guns and other substances that are there, then that is adding to the problems that we already have. And I think it's important for them to do that. We have 2 marinas in St. Peter, you know, and several things are happening around the island. And we have to pay close attention to what's going on. So we need our people in place to realize that we have to, you know, present a united front if we are going to adequately deal with the situations. And so every area where these things can slip in, we have to make sure that we intercept, and the interception is more stringent and more thorough, so that we can protect our people. That's pretty important to me.
Yeah, but just to play devil's advocate a little, though, the situation you mentioned about the process, and I don't know if it's still this way, but I did witness.
Before you do that, Adrian, just stick a pin there, because as somebody said, we must remind everybody about the march tomorrow.
Yeah.
Okay. The march tomorrow. This is what what are we marching about tomorrow? What we're marching about is asking, we're saying to the government, we do not feel safe in Barbados, and we need you to come up with serious crime fighting solutions. We need you to look at, for example, what we're discussing here right now, the border. It is a real thing. The fear in this country is real.
Yeah.
We need you to look at the porous borders. We need you to look at these containers. Go back to the drawing board at this 80-20 rule. Are you checking the containers that are coming in? How are the guns coming in? Those are things we need you to reduce the number of guns that are on the streets in Barbados. These are some of the things that we are asking you to look at. Where are those measures? And so tomorrow, 10 o'clock, put on your clothes. What's happening? We're wearing our national colors.
All right.
It's the national colors tomorrow that we're wearing. 10 o'clock, Kensington Mall. That's where we're meeting up tomorrow. We have our permit. Thank God. Thank you, police, for the permit. Okay, we have our permit, and because we believe in going by the law. It's our constitutional right, and we have our permit. Tomorrow we are meeting 10 o'clock. Come early. We'll have water for you. Okay, and if you might be having trouble walking, we're going to have a vehicle there that you can get a ride in if you get tired, etc. We're going to take care of you. We need you to come out. Come out, people. Don't stay in, because look at what's happening. They are now coming up with laws to infringe upon the people. Law-abiding citizens is what they are trying to do, instead of dealing with the criminals, which we believe a lot of these criminals are connected to people in government. Go ahead now, Adrian. I hope you remember your point. We have 10 minutes.
Yeah. I was just reinforcing the point that Apostle made with regards to the process of containers leaving the port and going to the place of business and being opened in the presence of a customs officer. And I have seen that, right? No, the law is that the customs officer is supposed to do due diligence and ensure that, what's in the container is on the bill of lading, and et cetera, and that there's no illegal contraband, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. But that may or may not happen. It's really up to the customs officer to follow the law, right? And just being devil's advocate, you can't really blame a government if there is a customs officer who decides for whatever reason that they may not want to follow the law, or that they may be enticed not to follow the law. So,
but Adrian, let me say this just in terms of time, that because we don't have much time, just to say to you though, Adrian, one of the things that we are fighting for is this rule, that this policy that they now have at the port, where there are particular business persons, because of who they are, or because of there's something that they registration, something that they do, that their containers are coming in and it's not being searched. There is also the policy where they're only searching 20% of the containers. So that's not something about about the this is not on the customs officer. These are policies that need to be changed if we're really serious on the number of stopping the number of guns coming in. I don't know if that helps a little bit. That helps a little bit.
Yeah, it does.
Okay. All right. So we have 7 minutes. Guys, we didn't go to the phone lines tonight because we were hashing out a lot of things that tonight was going a little different than we had planned to. But Mr. Babb, talk to the people. Why should they come out to the march tomorrow?
Yes, to Judy, yes, I'm going to be at the march. And the reason is safety in a country, or unsafe feeling in a country, affects everybody. And we have to say to this government that we are not safe. And we want you to get a clear message that the distractions about tint, the distraction about lie detector, the distraction about wiretapping, or any other area that you choose to raise to take our minds away from what is actually happening is not good enough. Because it is not any of your family that you're burying. It is our family. It is our neighbors, our young men that are dying. And I've seen in defense schools and hear children saying this song, "Oh, I'm going to die young." There's a song. Right. Yes.
Wow, you mean, and I didn't even get to talk to you about the violence in the school. You're saying the children are singing a particular song right now in the school?
The lyrics that say, "I'm going to die."
Listen to this. Listen to this. Tell us about this.
Because that song reflects what is happening in our society today.
Who is the singer?
I will find the artist for you.
And the name of it is that you're going to die young?
No, there's a line in it. I'm going to die young as it leads up. I'm going to get that for you and send it. I find young children, young teenagers are saying that because of what is happening around them. And we cannot get to a stage where our best minds, our strongest men are being taken down an average of 1 per day. So that is why we have to attend the march tomorrow. You can't stay in your house any longer and say, if I go there, identify with Marcel Weeks, the government will spite me. There's election coming. So if they spite you, no deal with them. So everybody come out to the march.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Apostle Canterbury, I know you have a prior thing, and I know people say, man, they need to hear you on the truck tomorrow. They walk in the comment section. They say, man, listen, I was hearing you in my head on that truck tomorrow, driving the devil out the lot. Listen, man, we can't beg you. I know it's a tough one for you tomorrow.
I'm gonna do my best, but I know we had a prior discussion, and I told you what, I showed you what's happening and what's going on. But definitely, I'm gonna do my best to get there. So
listen, when you come, I'm gonna let you go as soon as you come and let you run back to St. Peter.
So I'll keep you posted. I'll stay in touch with you.
Listen, we want to hear your voice on the street. Beg your church, beg your wife, beg everybody. Listen, we need. I am with the people in the chat today. I was there. I said, no, man, we have to have Apostle voice. Listen, anybody who remember Apostle when Apostle came out there and drive back that cyber bill? I remembered we were turning the corner right there, at the lights going up across the bridge, and when he stopped it. Adrian, he stopped it. I said, I know the cybercrime bill gonna have a problem. We didn't even go to Washington yet. I believed at that moment. Listen, Plastic Bag came out with the song today, and I believe prophetically, I'm going into another realm here. That song came out for us, Barbados, today, to drive Satan, to drive the devil out of there, all of these smoke screens. These are the things, Apostle, they're bringing about the tint, and they're bringing about wiretapping, and they're bringing about lie detector tests and all these things now, for discussion, for us to take our eyes off what the real problem is.
Maybe Adrian can help me. Are we trying to detect the liar or the lie, or is it both?
Well, they both go hand in hand, right? If somebody tell a lie, and you telling someone that a lie was told, the next day they're gonna wonder who told this lie. Don't separate.
Okay.
I never seek to separate the words of a person from that person. They go hand in hand.
Okay. So listen. So I'll stay in touch with you, Madam Weeks. I'll let you know what my progress is. So we will go from. But I am, of course, I am a supporter of what you're doing.
I know that.
And
your wife, Apostle, the prophetess, Canterbury, Heather Canterbury, she's also a supporter, and I ask her to pray about it. We're begging you, even if it's 30 minutes or even less, we put him on the mic, and then we put him back in the car and get him back to where he needs to go. But we need that voice. We need him to ring it out loud on the street tomorrow. We need that voice. I'm begging you.
Yes,
Somebody says Canterbury is powerful.
Yes, ma'am.
But why should the people come out, Apostle?
Well, again, Mr. Babb kind of summed up everything, and as you said, we're not safe. People are beginning to realize that, the kids aren't safe. Teachers are realizing that they're not safe in schools. Our elderly certainly aren't safe on the streets. Not even safe in their own homes. Employees are not safe. Going to work. Anything can happen. You're not safe. Cars are being stolen. So, I mean, all of these are things, and add to that the violent crimes with guns and stuff like that. It is bringing a stranglehold on the people of Barbados, and every man deserves the right to live freely and live safely in his own environments. And when that is threatened, we have to speak out. When we don't have individuals that are willing to stand up, who are currently in leadership to set the right legislation, to use their position, to use their influence, to bring in the laws, to say to Barbadians, this is what we will do to make sure. I mean, all of these things that's happened so far, not one anti-gang legislation, not one anti-gun legislation, nothing stringent to say if you're caught with an illegal firearm and ammunition, it is an immediate sentence.
Yes.
You know, we're not going to be wasting any time. All of these are things that could be done to make Barbadians feel safe. Not talk about tint, put individuals on edge, and then demand that you're taking $500 from this. It's crazy. So I think the march is very strategic. I think individuals need to come out and to join with this. And this is a key march. This is not the cybercrime bill and stuff like that. I told them that's stuck in the mud anyway. But this one is about our safety. This one is about national safety, and it is a key march. And I believe individuals need to come out, show support, solidarity with this, because it affects us all. So looking forward to being there with you. I'll keep you updated as my day goes through, and I'm looking forward to seeing a lot of individuals coming out and supporting this march on tomorrow.
Yes. I will talk with you when we're finished, so that we can see how we can organize.
Yes, ma'am.
Mr. Hines, what are your thoughts? I know you're there in Boston, and you would love to be here, but you can't be. What do you want to say to Barbadians?
Well, tomorrow in the United States, there are plans for what they're referring to as No King's Day.
Mm-hmm.
There are 2,111 protests planned across this country. I sent a link there. I don't know if Dave have time to put it up, a map to show how many protests are planned for tomorrow. Why I'm mentioning this is that sufficient enough Americans have come to the realization that they don't want an authoritarian president. They don't want someone who is behaving as if they are a king. And as a result, they are showing their angst against that by coming out and protesting. Barbadians, if you have a reason to be concerned about anything, for instance, crime, come out and show the powers that be that you are concerned and that they need to do more.
Yes, definitely. And you know what is so interesting about this, Barbadians? A lot of you are going to sit down and be posting those marches inside that's happening in those marches that are happening in the US. A lot of you're going to sit down and you're going to post it, and you're going to talk about Trump, and you're going to do all of that, and look at what's happening in your backyard where you live. And anytime if you post that to me, that's what I'm going to say to you. I am tired of seeing all the things you're posting, and you're talking about everything outside of Barbados except what is happening in Barbados. Look at these three on here. Look at these three. Look at their face. Look like they're sitting in front of a lie detector test. I want you to imagine the three of them before a lie detector test. Look how they look frightened. Look at the one in the middle. Look like he almost going to pass out.
It was give him a break. It was probably a very stressful for him to have a stern or serious face. He likes to smile, and
he likes to smile.
That's
what they're going to be when the lie detector test. And like this one over here in the white jacket, looking at this one, almost to try to get the answer from her for the lie detector test. Basically, that they need to take it first. Take the lie detector test first. That's what the people of Barbados need to say. Mr. Canterbury, you're saying something?
That's not going to happen.
It looks like the picture actually looks like the AG, and Ms. Brownshaw actually took the test, and they're scared about the results. That's all it looks like to me.
Yes.
Yes.
Listen, a whole meme can be set up on this
Of
one,
course.
one
Yeah,
right here.
that picture looks scary, very scary.
Like the
Yeah.
tent, they will be exempted from any wiretapping. You
Yeah.
know? So,
You see,
Yeah.
they will be tapping. Some of these people in government, but they are going to be tapping the citizens. You understand? That is what
Yeah.
is going to be happening. That's why
Well,
we need to come out.
I did
Wow.
hear her, and I'm looking for the piece. I did hear her mention about regularizing WhatsApp as well.
What a mess.
What?
I did hear her mention that in one of her off the cuff things about
She is. I am
fake
telling
news
this
and all that
woman needs
stuff,
to
and about
leave office.
the important.
She needs. Listen to me.
Mhm.
Listen to me. And I'm speaking metaphorically. Because I'm not gonna say I call Miss Piggy that I call Miss Piggy the devil, but I am saying that what? Get the devil out of here.
Right.
Did
But
I
she did
call
say-
her? Did I?
Yeah.
Did I? I am saying get the devil out of here. That's all I'm saying.
But she did say she
Yeah.
doesn't mind. She doesn't mind being called Miss Piggy. She did say that.
Oh, really? That's lovely. That's lovely. So oh, you know, then I will definitely continue.
Well,
I
I
will
don't,
definitely continue.
I don't know. I grew up watching the Muppets, and the last, I was speaking on the correction. Miss Piggy's boyfriend was a frog.
So it can't be it can't be the same person, because that Miss
Anyway.
Piggy actually had a boyfriend.
Anyway,
Yeah.
listen. Well, no,
They're bad.
listen. One of these nights, I will go through, because the Miss Piggy has nothing to do with appearance. Because I would never do something about people's appearance. One of these days, and if you check the Marcia Reed Show Facebook page, you will see exactly why Miss Piggy was used.
Yeah, I saw that. Yeah.
Yeah, Miss Piggy came about when they threw Barbie. When they threw Barbie out of the out of Parliament, when that beautiful senator Crystal Crystal Haynes,
Mr. Haynes. Yeah.
right? That's when the name came about. You know, it has nothing to do with anybody's physical appearance.
Well, Marcia, you know, it is your show, but I would simply say, if it were me, I would, and I'm not telling you what to do, but I would simply say, right, that if Frondell Stewart could be ugly and have a broad nose, then she could be Miss Piggy. I don't see anything wrong with that, you know.
Well, that's what she is.
Exactly.
That's what she is, and that's what she is. You know. So guys, on that note of Miss Piggy, we end. I know some of you don't like it, but you know what? Frondell did not like being called broad nose. Mr. Thorne, they call him a rat. All these different things, and she's Miss Piggy. That's what it is. And you know, is Mr. Thorne really a rat? Is
Actually, actually, Frondell addressed that on a platform. He said they said that my nose broad. He says, you know,
Yeah,
and I know that my nose broad, and I am very careful what I smell. He did say that. He did say that. So he took it in stride. But these people like to give and get real sensitive when they get the same in return, you know?
Yeah, but yeah, it ain't happening on my watch. I'm sorry. I'm not going to be petting no bully. You're a bully, and Miss Piggy is a bully, and so that's why you got your name. When you stop bullying people and pushing people around, then the name will be retracted. Until that time, it remains.
They know that. Her parliamentary colleagues know that, and those that couldn't stand it have left. You know, this whole thing about she just pushes hard. We know what that really means.
Yeah,
you know, it means that she discussed them. You know what I mean? So
I mean, I was called quite a number of things, you know, during my time with COVID, my ministry.
Yeah.
And you know, that never fazed me, because I understand how people react and stuff. And sometimes Barbadians become so fickle over things. And let's not forget that we had Malik some years ago with the World Cup.
Yeah.
You know.
Yeah.
Back then, everybody was for cup.
Yeah.
Right?
You know, and
But Apostle Marty said it's 4 cup, right? That's
yeah,
Right.
everybody was
Yeah.
hooked up. Yeah, everybody
Yeah.
was hooked up. He mentioned names and
names
you know,
and
everybody had a good laugh,
good
including
laugh about
Barbadians.
it.
Yeah, good laugh, even when he forgot the names.
Well, folks, this is where we end. And
Good night, everybody. It's been a great night.
good night, everybody. Good night.
Good night,
See you
sir.
tomorrow. Don't
Thanks
come
for
on here
having
and laugh and have fun. And we
Yeah.
don't see you tomorrow. We need to see you tomorrow, 10 o'clock. We are there tomorrow.
Wait,
Oh,
Marcy, I wasn't on the show earlier. That's a tablecloth you got there?
the tablecloth. Listen, I
Oh
was
my
going
goodness,
to say,
you
you
don't
know,
wear your
Miss Piggy
tablecloth?
wear the tablecloth.
Yes.
Miss Piggy take a tablecloth and Tyra. Miss Piggy tablecloth.
You have to have it neat. You have to have it neatly folded though,
Where?
and properly drip across the shoulder.
Listen, Miss Piggy tablecloth. Listen, Miss Piggy, listen, she going mad tonight. Miss Piggy take the tablecloth and show over her shoulder.
Yes.
Yes.
The tablecloth. Everywhere she goes, she have a folded tablecloth around her thing. Listen, come on, you're a public figure. Get over it. Give me a break. With a tablecloth. Go ahead, Dave, and let's get the devil out of here.
Good night, everyone.
Good night, guys.
Good night.
See you tomorrow, everybody.
Good night, everybody.
Bye-bye.
The devil out here, so please be aware. The devil on the loose, the devil on the loose. So protect your soul, cause he's on a roll. The devil on the loose, the devil on the loose. So don't be a victim, keep resisting. Hold on to your children, keep protecting. And when the devil comes, well, you just have to say, yeah, yeah. Get out behind me, Satan. Get out behind me, Satan. Push back on the devil, push back on the devil. Don't get caught in this spell, cause you will not fare well. The thing to do is simply tell the devil, go to hell. The devil, the devil, the devil, watch the devil. He will not relent, cause he is hell-bent. The devil on the loose, the devil on the loose. This guy as well, you just cannot tell. It's the devil on the loose, the devil on the loose. So don't be a victim, keep resisting. Hold on to your children, keep protecting. And when the devil comes, well, you just have to say, yeah, yeah. Get out behind me, Satan. Get out behind me, Satan. Push back on the devil, push back on the devil. Don't get caught in this spell, cause you will not fare well. The thing to do is simply tell the devil, go to hell. The devil, the devil, the devil, watch the devil, the devil, the devil, the devil. All around you temptation, look around you temptation. All around you temptation, look around you temptation. Just say, yeah, yeah. Get out behind me, Satan. Get out behind me, Satan. Push back on the devil, push back on the devil. The thing to do is simply tell the devil, go to hell. Get out behind me, Satan. Get out behind me, Satan. Push back on the devil, push back on the devil. Don't get caught in this spell, cause you will not fail.